And when we whoop enough ass, everybody gonna get in line and do right. All right. Peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are live in our conversation today, our program today, pack one. We're going to be talking about the Afrikaners are coming to America. And we're going to be talking about the war with the Mexican cartels. So, first start off with the Afrikaners coming to America. Trump has opened the doors to America and said, y'all can come over here while they cut off aid to South Africa. And on the peripheral view of it, of course, I believe other white folks who are upset about the other immigrants being here will be pretty happy with the South African white folks being here. But for us, I don't see that as no plus. I don't see that as something that is applaudable. I don't see that as something that we should look good to, because the South African white over there doesn't like the South African black there. Nope. And so if they're being chased from their land and going to come here, they're not going to be happy to deal with you either. That hate is not going to disappear because now they done crossed over the waters and got to here. That hate will be even more intensified. And so dealing with them, we cannot come with this kumbaya attitude and expect them to be our friends. They are not our friends. If they hate your brothers and sisters in South Africa, trust and believe they hate you even more. So let's start out with get a few understandings on these South African crackers. Peace and blessing, Brother Mill. Good to see you here, sir. Sister Cassie, who are these Afrikaners, these white Afrikaners, that they call themselves Afrikaners, and even spell it differently than the regular South African? Talk about it. Who are they that you know of?
They're invaders. They're invaders of Africa. They came there from Dutch, Britain, France. They're not originals. Their blood is from there, over in Europe. Okay, they came in, stole some land. Now the president there in South Africa has made a law to where they're gonna, if you can prove that you got your land legally and you have the paperwork for it, and you're pretty much you did it the right way, then you can keep your land. But if you cannot prove that you didn't steal the land, if you can't prove that you got it legally, they're taking it back. Okay. And they're not paying you and giving you any money for it, right? So these crackers mad because Elon Musk, the one that did the Jewish the little Jewish sign, right? Mm-hmm. Came and lied and said that they're killing Africans and they're taking their land. No, you stole something, they taking it back, not giving you no money. And you're mad because they're taking land that you stole from the Africans, the originals. Mm-hmm. So you're mad, and you want Trump to come in there, as savior. But the president over there said, "This is our land. You can't come and tell us what to do." My thing is, until Africa understands that America needs them, Africa, you don't need America. You got all the gold, all the silver, all the minerals, everything you need is there. These crackers told you that your land is nothing. So now they come here and get stuff for much of nothing. But what I would do if I was the president, I'd raise the prices of every mineral coming out of my country. America will pay double for it. So you want to put me on the apartheid? You want to put me under some kind of, I think he put him under tariff or some kind of whatever. To where what did he did something, I can't remember the word, but Trump is like, okay, we're gonna put some, we're gonna put them under some bondage. That's really what it is. But Africa has to understand we don't need America. You coming here for minerals. Everything you need, you getting it from Africa. So raise those prices, or either don't give it to them. You want me to suffer because I'm doing the right thing continuously hold on to the land that they stole from other people. That's just like a thief coming in my house stealing stuff, and then I go and pay him for my stuff. Like OJ, that man stole OJ stuff, and he went back and took it, and they sent him his ass to jail for 25 years. That's the same thing they do in there. That's what them crackers do. They don't ever hold themselves responsible, liable for anything. They want to do what they want to do. It doesn't matter. In America, you got enough stuff on your plate. Take care of your home. Take care of your land. Take care of what you're doing over here. They said, the president of Trump was saying that they're over there harming good white people. What are you talking about? You didn't harm good black folk over here. You are a hypocrite. Stay in your lane, mind your business, and let Africa do the right thing and take that land back from those thieves whose ancestors stole that land when they first got there. And they was killing people and stealing their land. And then they make some laws where black folk can't even own land at the time. And all that land was going to them white folk, Britain and France and all them people that was coming in. They was selling them land that somebody was already on. So now that's what's going on. So no, they need to get out. You don't like what's going on in South Africa, take your behind back to Britain, take your behind back to wherever you came from, and leave black folk alone. Period. They don't need you. Because I'm telling you, South Africa's just like America. I wouldn't dare go there. It's just like America. Black people get used to that behavior, so they go to South Africa and they feel comfortable because you feel, no, if you're going there, you need to go somewhere where you're going to feel free. You don't go there and get under apartheid. South Africa was doing the same thing, slavery, the same thing that America was doing. So then black folk comfortable, and black folk in America go over there, they're comfortable with that behavior. No, you're supposed to be going over there to be free. You don't go to another country that's just like America. That makes no sense to me. And that's what black folk are doing, that's leaving here. And I rest.
All right. I want to veer off just briefly to answer Emil's question that he asked me. The question says, a lot of people are losing their jobs and many more will continue losing their jobs under this administration. So instead of trying to get out of the Navy, do you think I'm just better to stay in? And I think, Emil, I think it's better to get out.
They're going to war, baby.
They will go to war.
They're going to war.
War is coming. And there's no way in the world that you should die
for a country that hates you.
Exactly. And it's just not worth it. If I was you, I would get out.
I'm out.
When I was in, and Minister Farrakhan said, if I was you, I'd get out of that military. That's right. He said it 3 times. I knew I had to go. It's just that simple. And when I look back and talk with my friends who were in the military that stayed there 20 years, stayed 15 years, and I was going to do my 20 years, their bodies are all broken down. Their bodies are broken down and, can't do nothing, on pain medication, night and day. And, but one good thing is they all ask me still, you still talking that black shit? I say, yeah, I'm still talking that black power. I ain't stopping it. And they all say, good. I am so proud of you. I wish I'd have listened to you. So, hey, this definitely is the right road. And, some people may not be strong enough to take our road, but they're still watching and hoping for our success. And at the end of the day, they wish they had our strength and our courage to take that stand. And so, again, to you, Brother Emil, I would get out of that bad boy.
Yeah. But you know what? He's also asked him, what's a good job? Anything electronic engineering, any type of computer science, any kind of iCloud, anything dealing with computers. Go to a trade school, get that 18-month program and be done. And you'll have, especially electronic engineering right now. And what that is, building the brains of the computer up. and you can use that to do these cars that's coming in. We're getting ready to get these electric cars, right? They're going to have a brain, so you'll be able to work on those electric cars, and that could be your own business. Okay, if you like computers, if you're already into computers, anything with computers. Cyber is getting a little saturated right now, so I would step away from cyber for a minute. You still can get something in cyber, because right now they're requiring you to have a bachelor's degree in and plus with certifications. So if you want anything with computers, but electronic engineering is a field that's very much needed. It's only like 18 months or something like that, less than 2 years. But you can get an associate's degree. But yeah, so anything with computers, that you'll be safe. Anything working with AI, working on AI, mechatronics, robotics, anything in that field. Yes, you'll do fine. You'll be anything in the medical field also, like nursing. Yeah, you'll do fine.
Yeah, you can definitely in the medical field, pharmacy field, you'll do fine. As a tech, you can make real good money as a pharmacy technician. You definitely in the Navy you were a cook, so use those skills to open your own business.
Yes, he's a cook. Okay, yeah, he can do his own. Yeah, get your own business, dude.
Yeah,
make some dinners. Start doing that now. Get yourself, make you some dinners and start selling them dinners to get your money up. So you can get your own restaurant. That's what a lot of people do. They sell dinners. Desserts. If you're good at desserts, hey, bake a whole cake and charge $25 for that bug. Some people charge $50 for a whole cake. Get some slices. Get you some clientele. People love to eat, honey. They love to eat. You can make dinners, and you can make money. Culinary is a good field also. Be somebody's private chef, like one of your lieutenants or your captain. You could be his private chef, or go to a different country and cook over there and be somebody's private chef. Seriously, it's a lot you can do with culinary. Yeah, that's your gift.
Exactly. And especially if you can, cook your native food.
Yes, absolutely.
Because that will be a really big thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, really, you can do that. That might take a lot of effort. Well, I don't want to remain in America either. It's going, and yeah, I tell people, look into Belize is a good spot. Look into a spot. I tell anybody, America's done. America, if you don't see what's happening here, if you stay here, you are going to be in trouble. You need to be looking at different places to live. You got a lot of countries, like he said, Italy has a special where if you come there, you can, get stuff from the government, to have, start a family and kids, housing and stuff. So that might be a good little business. Just like if you go in Africa, if you cook your soul food there, that's a good thing too. If you go to Africa and you're doing the soul food, you're going to make some money, because they're not used to that. They're used to what they do. You can go there and open. Africa is so open. I'm telling you, to any kind of business you want. Sky is the limit. You can go into tourism. You can go into car rental. You can go into a little laundromat. You can go into cooking. You can go into your own restaurant. You have nothing. I mean, you have Black folk there, but a lot of white folk have businesses there. So if you are Black and you have a business, why not? They'll support they'll support you. But go in there and bring your culture there. That's soul food. Black folk nationwide love greens, honey. They love some soul food. So that would be a good, thing, to, for any Black person who's going to Africa. Belize is a great spot. Okay. You go Panama, if you want to be in that culture, Costa Rica. So it's different places that you can go to and do very well, starting your own business now. So now is the time for Black people, or people, period, to go to other places and build. Okay. And that's what a lot of folk do. A lot of folk leave in America right now because we see the signs on the wall. We see the signs. So yeah, I rest my mic.
All right, perfect. And we want to welcome Brother Willie Rivers to the program. Peace and blessings, Brother Willie. We are glad you are here. I want to...
Yeah, but let me say one more thing, Maurice, about us training and teaching our children that the service in the Army is good for them. Stop sending your Black children to fight for a country that hate them, please. Stop it. I cannot say that enough. Stop doing that. This country hates you. Remember how they used to hang our brothers up in their uniforms that would come back from slave. Remember they would come back from the service, and those white folk would hang them up in their service uniforms. What the hell? What are we doing? Stop it. No, That's not something you want to teach your children. My thing in my house was, no, we're not going to the service. We are not going to fight for a country that hates you. We're not fighting for a country, another country's freedom, when you're not free yourself. You're not fighting for a country that when you come back, they sit up there and tell you no colors can drink out of this water fountain. We're not doing that. We can't even serve. You couldn't even go to white owners restaurants. I wouldn't want to do it anyway, but I'm just saying, until they give you more respect, stop telling them, your children, to go and fight for this racist country. I know a lot of people who've gone to the service and they say they treat them horribly. Stop doing it. They are so racist up in there. Why would you go and subject yourself to more racism because they can? My son-in-law is going through that right now with this little captain he got, right? You know, no, but lucky he's getting ready to retire. So he did do his 20 years. He got ready to retire, got out a year and a half. But I'm like, no, stop doing that. We're not, no. Stop. Get your children into entrepreneurship, business ownership. Right now, it's Black people. This is your time to build. You can have anything you want right now. Whatever you see, whatever service you see, instead of us working under them, get out of school and open your own. Have your own lane. Stop being an educator. You go into education, then you work in that white school. Stop doing that. You have a degree. Get together with some teachers and some principals and open up your own school, even if you have to do it online first. Within a year, you can open up in a physical building globally, nationwide, in every area. We have to start doing things differently. You got doctors, lawyers, plumbers, you got carpenters. Open up your own business. You get out of school, you go and you work in their hospitals and go through hell in school, then you go through hell after school. Stop it. God did not give you that talent for you to take it over there and work with them crackers. He gave you that talent for you to open up your own stuff. We had our own and gave it up. Get back to that. Let's change that mindset. You don't always have to work up under them devils. Them devils is there to give you hell because those are Satan's children. Stop thinking you got to go and work for them. You don't need them devils. They need you. Black folk, let me tell you something. We can take our monies from them and we can shut Walmarts and all them stores down today if we just support each other. You got Black-owned businesses right now. We have a list of Black-owned businesses that you could support, that you could take your money away from Walmart and you could shut them businesses down. Them Chinese with that hair, you can shut them businesses down today because they look for us to support them. We made them millionaires. So let's make ourselves millionaires. Let's make each other millionaires. Let's support each other businesses so we can make us millionaires. You didn't make them Chinese. That's billions of dollars. They make tons of billions of dollars every year for hair, right? So why aren't we opening up some of them wig stores? Why aren't we opening up some of that hair, them hair salon or whatever, with the hair? Why aren't we doing that? That's billions of dollars that you gave them. Are we serious? Let's stop it. Let's do this different. Go ahead, I rest.
All right. Thank you, Sister Cassie. And welcome, Brother Donald. Assalamu alaikum, shalom, peace and blessings. We are glad that you are here with us as well. And Brother Willie, I always look forward to seeing you too, big bro. I always look forward. When you're not here, I'm like, where's my brother at? Well, we are live. And as we're getting into this topic, this part of the conversations about the Afrikaners coming to America, I want to share this video that Brother Donald has sent to me yesterday. We're going to be looking at two videos Brother Donald has sent to me. But I want to look at this one because this brother, I believe his life is in danger. So let's share so we can check this out.
That people want you dead for it. That's exactly what Zimbabwean inventor Maxwell Chikumbutso says happened to him after he developed a self-powering car. Yes, a car that runs without fuel, petrol, gas, or even a charging station. That's amazing. I'm Ife Igwe. This is the African Diaspora News Channel. I'm reporting from Nigeria. Now think about it again. A car that generates its own power as it moves, no gas, no diesel, no plugging it overnight, nothing like that. Just endless energy. I know that this sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's real. And it's happening in Zimbabwe. Now, let's take a look at this video and we'll talk about it right after.
The vehicle, it uses what we call the microsonic energy device. The microsonic energy device, it is the device that I personally invented in 2009, which harness radio frequencies, converted it into energy. As you know, radio frequencies, they are measured in nanovolts, meaning to say they are less than a volt. They are just like nothing. But we find a way of harnessing it through the creation of the 70% of the components in the microsonic energy, which I've tailor-made, which I've designed. So those are the components that enable the radio frequency to be transferred into pure, useful energy. And this is the first time in the world.
This is the first and only vehicle of its kind in the world. If this technology is scalable, it will completely disrupt the automobile and energy industries as we know them. So imagine never needing a charging station again. How do you think the likes of Tesla and even other EV manufacturers will feel about this? No charging station anymore. And let's not even talk about big oil companies because this car eliminates their relevance entirely. But here's where it gets really dark, right? A few years ago, Maxwell was poisoned, unfortunately, and he believes that it wasn't just an accident. Even his colleague who was also poisoned died from that. He believes that this was a cartel within the oil and energy space, threatening his life. Even his mentor, Dr. Farai Katsande, said that there were multiple attempts on Maxwell's life way before that.
We were poisoned at that time. Dr. Teddy didn't make it. He died in January 2017. I survived by the grace of God.
And when we look at history, we've seen inventors, we've seen stories about inventors who unfortunately encounter mysterious events like sudden disappearances, sudden illnesses. And Maxwell himself has said that his self-powering technology threatens multi-billion-dollar industries from oil and gas to electricity providers. So if people could power their homes and cars without relying on fuel or the grid, the financial losses for these industries will be massive. So those threats are not a surprise at all. And guess what? He once used to live in the US. And when he was in the US, Maxwell said that he was offered millions of dollars to develop the invention there, but he turned it down. He turned it down and he believes that that got him in trouble. Instead, he came back to Zimbabwe because the Zimbabwean president, Emerson, personally invited him to return home and continue this work.
Imagine a car that never needs charging, unlike Tesla or internal combustion engine cars powered by fuel. These new cars and a racing motorbike are being powered by something called microsonic energy. This is the reality of Zimbabwe-born inventor Maxwell Chikumbutso, a 44-year-old man and a high school dropout.
The vehicle, it uses what we call the microsonic energy device. Microsonic energy device, it is the device that I personally invented in 2009, which harness radio frequencies, converted it into energy. As you know, radio frequencies, they are measured in nano.
So that is the vehicle that our brother uses his device to power it. Now, as Brother Donald said, that this is a threat to the petrodollar and many other industries, and potentially would reorganize the balance of power. Pray for our brother. You know, they got to him once, but wasn't successful. They will definitely try again, because this will be a big thing, and it definitely would change the way different industries are run. I mean, hell, Tesla and his vehicles that he make will become obsolete. Would definitely become obsolete. So he's a danger. Anytime a black man has the potential to reorganize the structure of the way things are, they become a threat. Just like the brother, what's his name? Reginald, what is his name? Well, I'm
Middleton.
No, not Middleton. But yeah, he's one of them that we're going to bring up. Well, while you're talking about it, go ahead and talk about Middleton while I find the other Reginald that I was looking for.
Oh, okay. Well, Reginald Middleton, damn, Reggie Middleton is the creator of of the crypto market, in which BlackRock and others have taken a big, huge position in regard to their future possibilities, where paper dollar would not be in effect, and XRP is one of the preeminent digital currencies and or coins out there, more so than BTC or Bitcoin, due to the fact that XRP can do transactions trillions upon quadrillions of dollars in less than a second, but BTC can't do that. They would have to be done within 10 minutes or more. So that's the power of XRP and the crypto market, and changing the ebb and flow of economies throughout the world that are going into uh, the crypto area or sphere of influence that will allow people to transact and be your own bank. So that's the thing about that.
Mm. All right, thank you, dear brother. And then the black guy that I'm talking about is Reginald Lewis. And let me share screen so y'all
Yes,
can
sir. Yes, sir.
Now, this brother was a bad mamma jamma.
Man, let me tell you about him now.
Go ahead, bro. Drop it. You got it? Go ahead,
Yeah.
drop it.
No, but the thing is, that was back in the 80s, just about the time when Jesse Jackson was running for president.
Mhm.
And the thing is, it's been there all the time. We've been talking about this, and talking about this. Fuck all of what you heard. Fuck all of what you know. The money is on Wall Street, and this guy went from zero at his company to number one black-owned billion-dollar company. That, if I remember correctly, he did a leveraged buyout of some company that was white owned, but he was eventually killed by or someone, I believe, that did not want the efficacy and the power of Wall Street to begin to be disseminated among black people, because that's where the power is. You know, when you look at Amazon, when you look at IBM or whatever other company, Microsoft, these people are billionaires on paper. They don't have, Elon doesn't have $450 billion in cash, but at any point he can take those shares and draw down 15, 20, 30, 100, 200 billion dollars by selling those shares. So this is the reason why it is so important for us as a people to understand the magnitude of all of what's going on, and especially Wall Street, because all you're doing is just financing your company to shareholders who have a stake in your company in hopes that it will pay a dividend, or in hopes that it will go up in price over time. And if you put in $500 at the time when Apple started, up until about maybe 10 years ago, that would be like $3 million right now.
Mhm.
I rest my motherfucking case, man.
And so this brother, he was very, very successful. He had bought Beatrice Foods, Beatrice International Holdings. And they didn't think that he had bought several companies, but the last big acquisition was Beatrice International Holdings. And, you know, as it first started out, what Cracker was like, oh, he ain't going to do it. He ain't, you know, da, 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 da. But he did it. And he did it in a way which, of course, increased his wealth, made him the richest black man, period. And also, he made white folks afraid. Next thing you know, he got cancer, brain cancer, and he was dead at 50. Out of nowhere, he just got cancer and was dead at 50. His daughter came and saw him one Monday. He was like, She was like, what happened to you? So quick, so fast, no stages, just boom, you got cancer and you about to die, and boom, he dead and gone. Because he threatened white folks. He saw the game and was able to master the game in so little time, and was bold enough to put black dollars, white dollars that he converted to black dollars, to put it behind people that he thought would be good black political candidates. It's unfortunate. He put a lot of money behind Jesse. Put a whole lot of money behind Jesse, gave Jesse the plane to fly around to, and during this time, Minister Farrakhan gave Jesse the FOI because he was getting threats on his life, and Secret Service refused to help him. So this brother wasn't afraid to be seen standing by Minister Farrakhan, not afraid to be seen helping Jesse Jackson, and he was too big of a threat, and they killed him. They killed him with cancer, just like that. And so our brother that's making these electrical nano, I think that's what he called it, technology to run vehicles and stuff, where you don't need gas and you don't need no electric plug. They already tried to get to him once, but got his friend. They're going to try again. So in Zimbabwe, they better put up a good damn fight to make sure he's protected. Sister Cassie, what say you?
I believe that right now it's our turn. It's our time. Sometimes, we try to do stuff too soon. And I think that's what's going on with these other people before, and they end up dying. But I think right now, since it's our time, I think things will be a little different, because I'm looking at Ibrahim in Burkina Faso. I have a hard time with that word. He's doing a lot for his country, a lot. And they've tried to murder him 19, 20 times already, and it's not worked. And you have to understand, when this is your turn and it's your time, you'll be protected to do what you were put on this earth to do. And I think we have to be very careful. We have to just keep our people covered, and decree that he's going to be safe, and he's going to be able to begin to continue on the work that he was put on this earth to do right now. So that's what we have to do. We have to start changing our words, and they can try. So what? Let them try. We always have tribes. So, but we're decreeing that nothing is going to come against him, and he's going to finish doing what he was put on this earth to do. I rest.
Definitely.
But you also have to be careful. I'm sorry. You also have to be careful, because who you let in your circle, you know what I'm saying? Ibrahim is not, you have to be I'm looking at some of these inventors, and very young. And I remember the one that got poisoned. I remember looking, and it was a white guy around him. And I'm like, okay, why is he there? Be very careful who you're allowing in your circle. Where's the connection? Follow the money. What's going on? Know who's around you. Even when you got coon black folk around you, you got to be careful of them. It's like you had Jesse Jackson, and then I think at the end of the day, he gave Louis Farrakhan the finger. You know what I'm saying? Now he won't even talk to Farrakhan. So these people, Jesse Jackson was always going to sell out. And Farrakhan did protect him. Told them, leave him alone. We got him. And when he got done, he gave Farrakhan the finger and went on about his business. He wasn't thinking about Farrakhan. That's the sad part about it. You know what I'm saying? And we don't honor who is protecting us, and we so busy trying to make friends with white folk that we will give up our own blackness and to compromise.
Definitely. Brother Mill says, Lisa Cabrera said on her live today, Black folks are out of their captivity. Now it's the Gentiles' time to go into captivity.
That's right. It's going now. Even now. I'm a Gentile. Who said I'm a Gentile myself? even though I've been in the truth for 7 years, then you're called a servant. You're not called a Gentile. You are called a servant, and Emil will be a servant. I'm just saying what the word said. He called them servants, and he said because you are latched onto the to the true people, and you know the truth, that you would make it in because of the simple fact you are considered a servant. No white people will have a leadership position in the new where we're going, but you will be a servant, and that's what they're called.
For me, I don't want to see white people in captivity.
I don't want to see them at all either, because I know it's going to be one Negro that's going to say, "Come on, baby." I just don't. I understand, but I'm telling you what the word says. He said that people like Emil, and you have Dana Stevens, Dana. He's a white guy on YouTube. He been telling these white folk off for years, so he has latched on to the true people, and he's telling his people off. Right? He'll be a servant, and he don't care. If you know who we are and you rocking with who we are and you okay with who we are, then you will be a servant. And it's going to be some of them. He did say a lot of them, not a whole lot, but it's going to be one or two here and there. But I don't want them in my household, or I don't want them around me. I'm just saying, y'all can have all you want. I don't want them over here. I don't need them as servants. I can do it. I'm not interested in having them anywhere around me.
And that's why I like the what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that would happen to them. He said that they would be killed off. He said that there will be a remnant of them that remains, but they would go back to the Caucasus Mountains, and then one day we will have a child of ours that will rise up and go up to the Caucasus Mountain and kill every last one of them, and there will be no more left on this earth. I
think that one too. I like that one better than
exactly.
I'm just saying, them things right there are terrible. Oh my God, I'm serious. They are terrible. Even on TV, when you're watching a movie and they show their ass every time, I'll be like, I did not even on TV, they got to come forth and show their behind. And you'll be like, can y'all just act right sometime? Even on TV, you can't even act right. That's a shame. We always got to look at them fools acting up.
Exactly. Now, in this next video, we're going to go to, because I'm laying a base. I'm laying a base to why we can't make critical mistakes. And South Africa has made critical mistakes when dealing with these white Afrikaners. They've made critical mistakes that they cannot afford.
Oh, God, they
cannot afford. And so, I want us to be able to see this and then make sure that we don't make the same mistake. So this is a second video that Brother Donald sent me. We're going to watch about 20 minutes of it and then come right back and get into it. So let me get this set up. Brother Donald is really good at sending his brother information to use for these programs, and I really can't thank him enough, because it always finds right into the discussions that I'm planning for the next program. So let's go.
Emil said the planet is returning, and it is. People not understanding what you see now is slowly but surely Black folk getting back into the rightful places. So that's why I say a lot of people who we think is going to die and be killed this time won't be. They're covered, because it's almost like that's their assignment to get us back to where we need to be.
Right. Exactly. I agree with that, Sis Cassie. That is their assignment. Now, this cracker right here.
Oh God, we have to. We have to. I'm so sick of looking at their hands. What to do?
Now, this dude.
Oh God, please help me.
He comes before the world. He doesn't do it on this one because he had erased the video. Brother Donald, make sure my what I'm about to say is correct, and if I misspeak, make sure you correct me. because I want to make sure it's right. But this dude admitted to being a pedophile, admitted to being a murderer,
Yes.
and other crimes that he's committed. This dude did a rant on black people, call us niggas this, nigga that.
We ain't gonna talk about that.
A black dude pulled him up on the program and telling him, yeah, you're not racist, you're not this, you're not that, and telling all us, that he's cool and, don't take that no kind of way because he didn't mean it in a racist way. And I know his heart.
Oh God, that was dummy.
I know his heart. And, we're going to discuss those people because they have to be removed. They have to be removed. You as a black man, the only thing you know about this devil is what his nature is, what they have done, and what they're capable of doing.
We know their history. You know what? We know their history. You can't sit up there and tell us nothing. And them damn coons need to be shot in the head. Seriously, they need to be done. This is what I'm saying. We're going to have to take care of them before we can take care of these things right here. Okay. This happened again. And I think I sent it to you. Professor Truth talked about that one demon and his wife that did the same thing, was harassing a black couple. You had a black coon that came and said, I know this man, what you guys are saying he did, he didn't do. Shut up. I'm so sick of them. I'm so sick of them coons. I don't know what to do. I'm sick of them. You can't never, you always got to have one that you pay them $2 and they'll sell their souls. And it's a sin. I'm telling y'all, it's a sin to be a coward. And it's written. It is a sin to be a coward. And when you find those coons, those are cowards. So they need to die. And I'm not condoning violence. I'm condoning justice because I'm sick of them. Black folk on the bottom now because of one that said he had a dream. Now, I don't like it. I don't care. I meant what I said.
Exactly. So Brother Donald says he was a witness and involved and present during children being abused. He never admitted to be a pedophile himself. Okay, thank you, Brother Donald, for correcting me. He didn't admit to being a pedophile, but he did admit to witnesses and being involved and present during children being abused. So, he's still a very wicked individual. But his name is Bitcoin Ben, and he runs the Crypto Club. Brother Isaiah, you familiar with this cracker? You're not familiar?
I can't say I do. But you know what I always say, fuck all white folks.
Yeah, exactly. So Brother Donald said those things that we just said, he said from his own words. So there's no allegedly. This is what he said that he saw, he did, he was there. So it's not alleged. We're not assuming. We're not thinking. He himself put himself there. But let's go ahead and watch a bit of this.
Yep, I'll bring you a little bit closer. I'm blind. Bitcoin. Think about that, guys. The base asset is going to be Bitcoin. Let me explain what an American sovereignty wealth fund is. Here's an example. Trump is actually saying, hey, we're going to let TikTok operate here in America, but we will own 25% of TikTok in America. That means all of the profits made from that share of TikTok will be held in Bitcoin. This is how Trump accumulates more Bitcoin. Folks, wait until Trump announces his energy policy and his energy plan for America. Trump, if you're listening, which I know you are, you sexy son of a bitch, I voted for you, brother. You know that. Call it the Make America Energetic Again project or plan or whatever. Make America energetic again. Because it's going to be a partnership with all of the energy companies, all of the oil companies, to integrate the Bitcoin mining as a product of their company. And they will be earning Bitcoin. And the federal government will not lend these energy companies money. They'll want shares of the corporation and the profits that the mining facilities make. That will be paid to the Bitcoin reserve and held as the Bitcoin reserve asset. This is how Trump is going to use the Bitcoin to a lot of the social programs are not going to go away, but they will not be funded by the American taxpayer. Nope. Trump's going to use tariffs and the National Sovereignty Wealth Fund to fund Social Security, to fund all of the social programs, Medicare, Medicaid. Now, me as a libertarian, I don't think the government should handle that, but if they're going to handle it, don't charge the taxpayers. Do not use slavery that you implement on the taxpayers, because that's what taxes are. They're slave wages to the slave owner. It's basically the equivalent of sharecropping. Y'all go work and send me my money. Now go make me some money, you bunch of American citizens. Here's your Social Security number, also known as your employee ID number. See, when you own an LLC, the LLC gets what's called an employee identification number. And that's the number you use for your taxes as an LLC or an S Corp or whatever like that. Well, if you're an individual, you have a Social Security number. Well, see, they're lying to you. It's not really a Social Security number. It's an employee identification number, just like the LLC, because through the civil code of the law, the LLC is an employee of the federal government. What you don't realize is as your Social Security number is your employee number, because you're an employee of the government. You work for the government don't work for you. This is, and what's going to happen, guys? America's going to have basic income, basic minimum income, or whatever the hell they call it. And it's going to be funded by Bitcoin mining, just like Alaska does with oil, right? So the people in Alaska, they get paid a check every month or every quarter for a percentage of what oil, natural resources of Alaska, actually makes in profit. That's Alaska's, basic wage for all of their citizens. Welcome to the new America, folks. That's what we're going to have, except the product's not going to be oil. It's going to be Bitcoin. Because once he implements this American Sovereignty Wealth Fund, the Sovereignty Wealth Fund will fund all of the social programs through ownerships in businesses like TikTok. See, for many years, we have had presidents and vice presidents that did not truly care about Americans. What they cared about was the United States of America Corporation. They wanted the corporation to survive and didn't care if they had to kill the citizens in order to get it. Because they valued the system, not the subjects. Well, that's changed, folks. Trump is now bringing in the equivalent of there's really no equivalent of what he is doing. America has never had this type of shift in the right direction. After the Civil War, we took a shift in the bad direction. That's what allowed the creation of the United States of America Corporation. Because after the Civil War, in the Reconstruction phase, that's what they were reconstructing. They shifted us from a natural rights society, which is what's called a nation. All right. Here's a little bit of history. Plantation. Do you know what plantation's legal definition is under common law? It's a sovereign nation. A plantation is a sovereign nation. So those Southerners that we were all told were evil slave owners, but did.
Now listen how he goes into his lies with plantation is a sovereign nation. Plantations are a sovereign nation. Straight lie. So they build you on to something that catches your interest. Bitcoin, this new sovereign wealth fund, Social Security, because we all know that these things, Social Security, regular quote unquote entitlement programs that have to be funded, that Trump and Elon talking about we're going to take away. So he gets your attention with debate. Now he's trying to re-educate you on what has happened in the past. And those who are not listening, those who are not wise, will begin to eat this bullshit and then regurgitate it because he's laying a base to be able to make their moves. Listen some more.
Known slaves and actually partnered with people that were called indentured servants that basically work on a 7-year contract, which the 7-year itch. Yeah, that's where that came from. Because every 7 years, your contract was almost up. You could renegotiate your freedom. Or as the progressive called it, you could buy your freedom, but you was a slave. No, that's bullshit. You could, if you're a slave, how the hell can you buy your freedom? Because you're buying out a contract. And look it up. Every slave had to sign what's called a servitude contract. Those of you who have watched old movies where the old black man farmer would make his mark on the contract, just put your X, boy. That was him signing a servitude contract. So he wasn't a slave. He got paid. He got paid for his servitude.
Now, mind you, some of us would think, oh, he's talking about white folks. No, he ain't talking about white folks. He talking about black folks. Boy, put your signature here on the X. Put your X on the line, boy. You know that language. So he ain't talking about white folk. He talking about black folk.
And he negotiated it. And in those days, the husband was legally responsible, and the progressive called it ownership. He owned his wife and children. No, just like we do on our taxes where we claim our family. Yeah, same fucking thing, folks. They just shift the language to make you think that there were these group of, poor African Americans that were drug over here on ships, not knowing that, you know who ran those ships was a lot of Christian missionaries who would actually go to Africa and purchase these black people from other tribes that either said, look, either we sell them or we kill them. Your choice. So the Christian missionaries would actually purchase the black people who had lost the wars or the tribal, local, wars, and they would bring them to America. And then they wouldn't sell slaves. They'd have to recoup the money that they purchased the people with the other tribes so they could go back to Africa and do it again. A lot of these were Christian people out there trying to save people's lives. But they don't tell you that part. Oh, hell no. They want you to think that we went over there, knocked a few black guys on the head, and drug them back to America and said, now, y'all are slaves. Now, there was some of that from the Caribbean, and there was some of that from England, but very little. And the England, they didn't sell black slaves. Guess what they did? They sold prisoners that were mostly Irish. That's where the Irish slaves.
So you see how he's laying his lying base. They went to Africa to save us. They're good Christian missionaries. Oh, they just had to come and save the little dumb niggas over there who were killing each other off and doing all this kind of crazy stuff. The white savior complex, this lying bastard. But this is how they rewrite history. This is why they don't want your history to be taught in the schools.
Exactly. And we dumb enough not to do it. And we dumb enough not to do it. But my thing is, when we let them in there, that was the worst thing black folk could have did, was let them in there. And now you're letting them buy land. And now you're giving them citizenship. Ghana is going to regret that 300 of them Lebanese that they let in there. You can't even go to Lebanon and get a citizenship. You can't even go over there and get a visa. You can't get any land in Lebanon, but you allowed them to come to Africa in Ghana, 300 of them, and gave them citizenship and gave them a visa. Gave them, they are citizens now. That's the worst thing you ever want to do. God, you would think that they would learn from history, right? But he's sitting up here telling you the history out of his eyes, what his grandma told him. But it's all lies. But he want to convince you that, that we right. We didn't need you in Africa. We didn't need you. You should stay in the Caucasus Mountains. We don't need you. We can do on our own. And you saw it. That's why you won't give us no money now, because you know we will build and surpass you. You know what we are. You know who we are. You know that all you got to do is give us an inch and we're going to take a yard. And we're going to build past you. And that's what they did in Black Wall Street. Them crackers looked over there and said, look at them niggas, man, we was gone, right? What they do? They came in, destroyed, and tore it down, and they said, "This is what we can't do in the future. We can't give them no money. We can't do nothing for them. We can't give them a break. We got to stay on their necks. We got to teach them Willie Lynch and all this PTSD. You can't never give them a chance, because if we give them a chance, they're gonna outdo us. They know who we are. They know the gifts. Everything they own, everything they have their hands on, we created. Our ancestors created, and they stole it. Because that's what they do. They steal, kill, and destroy. Whose attributes are those, family? Those are Satan's attributes. And don't you believe that those are not Satan's seeds? And they think just like him.
Exactly.
And they act like him.
Exactly. Now, dealing with Trump, who did the executive order for the Afrikaner over there in South Africa and halted money to South Africa.
Good.
They, because they said taking land from the South African, taking land from the white South African is wrong, that you should not do that. But that is the right thing to do when you're talking about justice. See, when you're dealing with a justice claim, the offender don't want justice. The crook, the thief, they don't want justice to come. Because when justice comes, it means they got to lose something. And so their lives and their life are built upon lies after lies after lies. So when truth comes, it will crush the lies. It will crush the lies. And now everybody has to redo where they was. The nice house you live in, the piece of land you got, you don't get to keep it. Because here in America, the rule is, if that's stolen property that you got to give it up. You don't get to keep it. It goes away. Regardless to what you did to improve on it, did this or did that with it, you lose it all. You lose it all. So the South African is angry that they're losing. They're angry. And so some have looked at Trump and said, thank you. Some have looked at Trump and said, thank you, but no thank you. We rather stay right here and we rather take what is ours. So when you have this white group in South Africa called, I think it's pronounced Orana or something like that, when Trump gave them recognition that they exist, that was Elon Musk talked them into it, in my understanding. I wasn't there, I wasn't a fly on the wall, but I believe Elon Musk talked them into it.
Oh, yeah.
Elon Musk is from there. And so when Trump recognized them, it's the same thing that the British and America did to the Zionists when they recognized Israel and said, oh, yep, you do have a right to exist. You are real people now, and you have your own land. South Africa dumb enough to let these motherfuckers go out and claim their own little built city.
Yep.
Ain't
no black folk over there. Yep.
Can no black folks show up? You can't go in.
Make it make sense.
Allowed them to settle there. Now Trump has recognized them as being real.
Yep.
And having a right.
Yep. How you gonna get a right to some black land?
Yeah.
How you gonna get a right? You 6% of the nationality. You're a minority in Africa, and you got all them rights. You got 70% of the land. Now you gonna make it make sense because you stole that land from the original people. And now Trump trying to tell you it's okay, but the black president say this our land. But I'm gonna tell you what, I'm glad Trump is doing what he's doing so they can show them black folk that you don't need America, that America needs you. And they said, okay, one man said, okay, let's stop giving America the minerals. That's what you do. You want to bully me? You get no more minerals, and we're going up on whatever it is that we giving you already. We're going up on the price. but you don't get nothing from it. You don't get nothing. You want to sanction me? You get nothing. You have to bully a bully. Trump is all mouth and no action. That's why when he told China and Russia to stop doing BRICS, they doubled down. And I'm so glad. They said, we're going to tariff you. We're going to put you on the tariffs. China said, I don't care. We already knew you was going to do this, so we put stuff in place. So it doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. That's what South Africa's going to have to be one step ahead of America. But every mineral, everything that we're giving you, we're going to cut you off just like you cut us off. I guarantee you they'll shut that shit right down.
Exactly.
You have to bully them. You have to treat them worse than what they treating you. You want to play this game? We can play this game. Let's play it. But I guarantee you, you're going to need my minerals before I come to you and need your aid. Knowing who Africa is. Africa's the now, baby. Let me tell you what. Africa's the now. Black folk need to be getting some land, getting invested. And just like that man said, with Bitcoin and all this XRP, you need to be invested just like them crackers invested. I do have one question. He talked about the Sovereignty Wealth Fund. Is that fund that's connected to our Social Security?
It will be, because Trump is going to connect that to Social Security.
But they said it's already a fund connected to your number, your Social Security number. They said it's a fund that's already attached to your Social Security number that literally you are entitled. Well, when you're born, you get that Social Security number, which you get funds attached to you already. You know what I'm talking about?
Right. Yes, I've heard that, but I have not seen any physical evidence of it.
Well, it is a fund. There is a fund because I looked into it. It's a real fund. You can pull up a website. It's a real fund, right? And at your bottom of your Social Security card, you have the number. You have it, and every card has an area. Mine was in Georgia. Okay, you can look up. You can look up the number and understand how much is attached to it. So it is a real fund, but you're not entitled to it. Okay, it's something that the government set up way back when they started giving you Social Security cards. But they said that fund, and that's what I was thinking he was talking about, that Sovereignty Wealth Fund. That's what I was thinking he was talking about.
Okay, so when it comes up, it says a Social Security number is linked to the Old Age Survivors Insurance Trust Fund and Disability Insurance Trust Fund, collectively known as the Social Security Trust Funds. These are accounts where your Social Security number contributes or deposits and from which your future benefits will be paid out. So
okay, so that's really true because I'm looking at retirement. Okay, I've been doing the retirement search as far as white folk, and Black folk are getting so much lower than white people as far as Social Security. So that's actually true, and I really don't believe it's true. They it's in writing, but I've been getting Social Security, the amount, for years. That amount has not changed. It's since changed now, but they said the last 5 years that you work is what the number they go on. So how can they tell you, okay, you're getting so much now, and you've not even worked the whole 5 years of your, you know what I'm saying? So they have me set at a certain amount, right? Because I've been researching it. And forever, I was at another amount. And I'm like, well, how did they do that? Because I know white folk didn't even work. It's getting like, $2,500, $3,000. They're up there, right? But a lot of Black folk is getting a certain amount, and it's not reaching, $2,500 at all. So it's totally different than what Black folk is getting and white folk is getting. Totally different. Totally different. And I'm like, they have it already set up. You can't even fight it. You can't even say, well, hey, that's not the amount. This amount has been for years. Mine was set at a certain amount. And I was like, well, how is that possible when I've worked all of my life and I've had very good jobs, right? So now I'm looking at it now because I'm getting ready to retire in November. And I'm like, how did you come to that amount? I'm not even done. As far as they're concerned, I'm not even retiring yet. Okay. They're looking for me to retire at 67. I'm not doing that. So now I'm looking at the number. I'm like, tell me how you got to that. They're like, well, this has already been set up by the government. I said, but how did he come to this number? That's the amount that you're supposed to get. This thing is already set up it's already set up. What they're saying is, it can't be true because they're supposed to take the last 5 years of your employment, right? That's not what they're doing.
Definitely. I don't, and with the thing in the way that it's set up now, it's saying that it's projected to run out of reserves in 2035.
So therefore, Trump is going to do something else. Like that dude was saying, he's going to use that sovereignty wealth fund, which is connected to your Social Security, in order to, if he's planning on getting rid of IRS, and if he's really getting ready to get rid of some of those other the entities that we use now. So that's where that fund is coming from, and that's already attached to your Social Security. That's money that's already yours. So when you die, the state gets that because it's like an insurance policy on you. So when you die, the state gets so much money because they have your Social Security into like a like you said, an insurance policy. So when you die, that money goes to the state, goes to the government for them to actually use. Instead of coming to your family, it goes to them. So this thing is all jacked up. If we really dug deep, and I would love to dive deep into this, because we're being cheated. We're not getting half of what we're supposed to be getting. Them crackers. I'm gonna tell you one thing. God worked with his son is working at a bakery. White guy making $35 an hour. How are you making 35? I guarantee you. He was talking about his son the other day. He said, my son is 27 years old and got over $100,000 in the bank. I said, how did he do that? How? This dude, he bought a house. He's got it's like 2 401ks. He got $100,000. Then he turned around and he said, and the other, he got like $30,000. He was talking about his dad. You know, he said he wanted to consolidate. I'm like, this dude is $27,000. Where'd this money come from?
Right.
That's crazy. But he's making $35 an hour at a bakery. I'm like, what is he doing at a bakery? What's he do? He's fixing no college. Listen, no college. Now we got black kids with college. Not even making that. Okay. He has no college. And what he's doing is he's fixing on the job training the bakery equipment. $35 an hour. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Boy, I almost hit the floor. Boy, I'm like, y'all asses, boy, I tell you. Boy, I'm so sick of him. I don't know what to do. I swear, what in the world is going on with this world? God, I was like, $100,000 to 27, got his own house. He might have been 25, but 25, 27, the little boy was, right? Just bought a house and got all this $100,000. I'm like, Lord, this just, oh, Lord, they can do, Lord. Okay, whatever. I rest my mic.
Yeah, ain't no way. No, ain't no way. But, they need to do something to fix the Social Security thing, because as Brother Donald said, it's already been spent. They already spent that money. And looking at all of those white folks, those elderly white folks, what they going to do? They're not concerned about elderly black folks. They're concerned about elderly white folks. So they're trying to fix it. And so I would definitely agree with Sister Cassie that you need to be looking into your Social Security and see what's going on with it.
I'm telling you.
And see, because you can go on their website, sign in, and it'll show you what you're calculated up to thus far.
But you can't even fight it, though. I know we've been working, me and my husband has been working since forever, right? Have very good jobs, right? But we're looking at it and I'm like, something's wrong with this picture. Something is wrong with this picture. Nobody should be retiring less than $2,500 a month. And that's not what I'm seeing through black people. I'm seeing black people make less than $1,500. That's ridiculous. I'm talking about black folk that have retired, who's worked all of their life. I'm like, why is that? How is that? But then I know white folk, that's retired. We're talking about 2,500 who didn't even work. Their mates were working.
Exactly.
I'm like, how in the world you getting $3,000, $2,500? You ain't never worked. Something is wrong. Just like Donald said, it is not. Things are not as they appear, and he's so right. But you can't fight it. This thing is so much deeper than what we actually believe and agree. This thing is so much deeper. It goes to a level that you can't even fathom, because their mind is so wicked. And they've set up this whole system for them to make an inheritance, for them to get an inheritance. But I'm gonna tell you what, black folk, you can do this. You can do this. If you are investing right now in Bitcoin, like I said, that XRP, you can reap the harvest. But you gotta be investing. You have to. It's mandatory because when that fiat goes out, what are you going to have? If you've not been invested, you're going to have zero wealth. And this is your time to get your wealth. Like I said, these coins are super cheap. Some are less than $2, less than $1, less than 50 cents. If you are not investing, shame on you. You do not want them to take care of you. They said you will own nothing. That means that even with these jobs, you see, getting ready to Walmart, they're getting ready to have all no cashiers. Where are those jobs going, people? You go to the grocery store. In those lanes, they have maybe one register open. Okay, but if they can close that one, they will. You go to the gas station. You're paying. You're now doing something, and I refuse to do it. I went to a station the other day, and I'm like, I'm going to train on that machine. I'm not doing that. You have to train me. You're not even giving me anything free to work for you. I'm working for you. When I come in here and I'm checking out myself, you're working for them. They didn't train you. They're not hiring you. They didn't pay you. So they're so ready for you to take on other people's job because you're scanning your own stuff. You're paying. They're not paying you to do that. I'm like, am I going to get some free groceries or something to do this? We got to start thinking. We have to start thinking about this stuff. And you got people working there that's so glad for you to, hey, ring yourself out. I'm like, you're giving up your job, right? You're training people how to do your job. What are you going to do when we learn how to run this store for you?
Mm-hmm.
I rest my mic. This is crazy.
Exactly. Brother Diamond said anything that depends on the dollar or dollar-dominated assets are in for a rude awakening.
That's right.
The new system is already here. And like it or not, it's crypto. Mm-hmm. You got to definitely understand exactly what's going on.
Like it or not.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to go and look at this quick video. It's not a little quick, but we're going to look at it and go over it where this brother is interviewing the white folks at this Oriana, however you pronounce it, this city that black folks are not allowed to be in South Carolina. And I would really think that there's not a black person in South Africa that would have allowed this thing to even show up on the surface and then be told y'all can't go. And you obey the shit.
You know what? That's why ain't no black folk killing no white folk in South Africa. When they told that lie, when Donald Trump told that damn lie, he a liar from hell. I hate that demon right there. He a liar. He opened his mouth and started lying, talking about some good white folk in South Africa. The black folk is something very bad happening there. You're a liar. You have not investigated nothing. You mad because them crackers losing that land, the stolen land that they stole from black people, and you're mad because black folk is trying to take back their land, period. Give them people land back, you thieves. Now you just set up there and made a whole city, which was illegal. It's illegal. You done gave them rights to that city. But I blame black folk for allowing it to exist. That city should have burned to the dang gone ground. Mm-hmm. Period. You ain't gonna have no coming this white. You ain't gonna come in a black country and talk about this is a white only area. Get the hell out. Go back to Dutch. Go back to Germany. Go back to France. Go back to wherever it is you came with that idea. Go back to China. Go out because Chinese be doing that too. Trying to come over there and tell me this is the only Asian restaurant. Get out of here. You know how many restaurants they didn't close down in Ghana?
That.
And some other countries. But South Africa, you're gonna sit up there and let a whole city be born. Get out of here. That's on you. That's not a city I would ever go to in Africa, ever.
No, ain't no way. And I'm going to try to reach out to somebody over there in the government because they need to explain this. They need to explain this, and they need to understand that this shit can't be allowed.
Exactly.
You're making a huge mistake, and it's going to cost y'all your lives. They even have their own airport. They got their own little military base there. You fucking up.
Yeah, you will.
In a major way, and you're not paying attention to the time and what must be done because this is not right. So let's check it out.
Welcome back. Oranje, an Afrikaner-only town in South Africa, has weighed in on the US President Donald Trump's order halting financial aid to South Africa and offering refugee status to Afrikaners. Oranje residents say while they are appreciative of Trump's offer to assist, they would rather it help them in their home, echoing AfriForum and Solidarity Movement sentiments. Head of Oranje, US Stradom, is now joining us to have this conversation. Yes, a very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time for us. What is it in the Trump statement that you agree with as the community of Oranje?
Well, thank you for the opportunity. I think firstly, the fact that Afrikaners are recognized as a minority nation or a group in own right internationally is something that we are pleased with. We are thankful for the urgency with which President Trump tackled the broader conversation about land expropriation. But we also really appreciate the fact that we as Afrikaners get the opportunity to get recognized as a group in own right, as a people in own right. And that is what he did in his executive order.
Yeah. And around the existence of Afrikaners in South Africa and the so-called, what he calls the hateful rhetoric and government actions fueling disproportionate violence against racially disfavored landowners. Do you agree with that sentiment?
Well, what I would agree with is that it's quite clear that government is taking certain steps, and we don't have only to look at the expropriation without compensation bill, which became the act. We can look at a great many things, including the Bella Act, including expropriation without compensation, including a lot of inflammatory statements from men in government, really pushing or blowing the little fire that is stirring the hate. If we hear sentiments that people should be shot or killed on their farms and things like that, this is to real concern. I think from the Oranje perspective, and that's why I led into the intro with the fact of recognition as well. We are a people in own right, and we want to be recognized for that. So that's the most important thing for us. So there's negative recognition, which we see from the politicians that make these inflammatory statements of killing the farmer, killing the boer. But we also have the positive recognition, not only in the USA, where President Trump acknowledged Afrikaners, but also from traditional communities in South Africa that's reaching out to Oranje saying, listen, we want to run our municipalities well, our local areas. We recognize you as a people, recognize us as a people. And I think there's many examples as the Barolong, as the Xhosa people from Mnyameni, of which we are in conversation with all of them. So I think that's very important. That recognition of a people unto itself, it's really important for Oranje.
Yeah, but would you agree that this, for me, at least on my end, sounds like a mischaracterization? Hateful rhetoric and government actions fueling disproportionate violence against the racially disfavored landowners. Do you think or believe that Afrikaners are facing disproportionate violence?
I think the people of South Africa are facing violence in general.
So whether you're Afrikaner or not,
that is a definite fact. There's no doubt about it. However, what we do not see in regards to other groups who are also suffering is the institutionalized call for violence. We see people in government, whether that be Andile or Julius Malema, that fuels this racist rhetoric, and people can say, well, they are fringe figures. The fact is they are in government. Those are people duly elected into government, where Afrikaners have a very, very small voice, and things are being voiced on an institutional level through government institutions saying, kill these people. Yeah. Now, some may make that off as a struggle song, as a historical context, but the brutal reality is that farm murders and the torture that goes with that doesn't agree with the fact that that's only rhetoric or only history. It is quite clear that the people in government singing these hateful songs and making these statements is to a great concern of Afrikaners. So definitely, on an institutional level, there is a discrepancy. There is something else. There is something that might be called revenge killings or something in that matter. And we want to shift that away from that towards recognition of Afrikaners, towards recognition of Oranje.
Yeah, but just where is that happening? Where have you heard of people killing Afrikaners because of what Julius Malema said? This matter was also dealt with in court, and there was no concrete evidence that was presented in court, and that's the reason why the court said singing the song "Killing the Boer, Kill the Farmer" should be considered as this is a struggle song and not necessarily incitement to violence?
I don't want to dwell too much on this, but I want to answer you. What must Afrikaners think when at a farm murder there is messages written on the walls with blood? What must Afrikaners think when farm murders are disproportionately violent? And that has been proven time and again.
Yeah, but both you and I just agreed now that it's not true that Afrikaners are facing disproportionate violence in comparison to other groups in the country. Whether you're Afrikaner... Sorry,
can I have the opportunity?
Okay.
What I said is that all people in South Africa are facing the violence that is the direct effect of the inability to manage South Africa from a central position. That is why we are pro-decentralization and pro-more autonomy, so that people can manage their own affairs. However, if I said that all people in South Africa are facing violence, that doesn't mean that we are disproportionately affected by it. If you look at the amount of farmers on commercial farms, and you look at the amount of farm murders, the amount of farm attacks, the amount of crime on farms, which has not been properly studied, not been properly researched, and only organizations like AfriForum taking that initiative because the government won't do it. But we do see disproportionate violence. We do see that. So what I was saying is that all groups in South Africa, all peoples do face violence, and it is very worrisome. And that actually strengthens the argument that local communities, local areas, territories or provinces should have more say, not less. We see in the rural communities that there are not enough police officers, that they are not able to manage all the crime. So that is why Orania is in favor, fully in favor of decentralized government, of more autonomy. Let the people look after themselves, because we are seeing that government are not able to control the violence. They are not able to control the crime. And actually, some members in parliament are feeling this. So
now you notice that he keep talking about this violence that
no proof. What a proof! What a proof! He asked him. He said, "Where? Tell me what." He has not came up with one case yet. These devils lie every time they open their damn mouth. They lie. Let me tell you something. I'm just looking it up. Like I said, black folk in South Africa are 72%. No, white folk is 72% with the land. Okay? 72%. You are the minority. But how did that happen? They came up with laws to stop black folk who were original owners of this country to not be able to buy land, for one, and also their land that they already owned by their family members was taken. They took it. They took it. So instead of them being fair and doing what they're doing, what the government is trying to do, they're not killing any white folk over there. They're not smart enough to, because you already see how they operate. So ain't no black South Africans killing no white folk, period. And then Trump said, well, come on over here. Okay, go to America. Period. Get out of South Africa. Get them their people their land back. But they don't want to do that. They say, no, we want to stay here. If it's so bad, why you want to stay there? Exactly. If you died like that. They did the same lie in Zimbabwe. And that's how Zimbabwe got to be as poor as what they did. They did the same thing. Because the president over there took the land back, and America jumped in it and stopped the economy. They broke that country, right? But they was doing the same thing they're doing now, and they was giving the stolen land back to the rightful owners. And white folk did the same thing there, and America stepped in. America don't have no business stepping in no other country. They have no business coming in here writing anything. Trump needs to mind his business. How you gonna go to South Africa and write and do a letter and say it's okay for them to just have this one area for white folk? That's not how South Africa should be run. That's a black country. So guess what? If you white, you don't like House One, take your behind back to Britain, France, and all them other European, Denmark, and all them other countries, Amsterdam, wherever you came from. Go back there, and you can own all the property you want to. But they don't want to do that. They say we love South Africa, okay? Because it's been said, go back to where you came from. We'll give you the land. We'll give you the money to do that. They don't want to do that. They want to stay amongst black folk and keep up a whole lot of red. Because they know America come in and step in and take up for white folk, even though they're wrong. They never hold themselves accountable. Never. Go ahead. I'm so sick of them. I don't know what to do. They need to disappear. I swear. All of them.
And that's everything that you said is very true. You know, the thing is this, they come over here to America, then that's another added element that we're going to have to deal with. And they're going to be their races, their nastiest self that they can be. And they will egg on the little jerk ass dumb cracker that runs around here all day that ain't got the gall to really do nothing but sit back there and yak, 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 yak. So they will influence them. And you know, they already said they got this thing where they call it that white folks are when it comes to seeing violence, it's contagious. Violence is contagious. When they see it, they want to jump on it and carry it out, be one of the first ones to carry out the next violent attack. So these things that we're looking at coming here to America is very real. If you're sitting back thinking that you're going to sing this bullshit away, that you're going to march this bullshit away, that you're going to pray this bullshit away, you better wake the fuck up right now. You better wake the fuck up, because this is real. They ain't coming here looking to be your buddy, looking to be your friend. They ain't coming here looking to give you no damn hug. They come here to whoop your ass. Mm-hmm. And so you better be prepared to fight with everything you got. With everything you got. You know, and I'm gonna say this too, because I've seen some videos where Black folks are going to, you know, Yemen, they're going to all of these, Egypt, all these other countries, running from white supremacy, running that you feel that you'll be more secure. One even ran over there to Iceland, thinking that they're going to be more secure, that they don't have to deal with race. Well, no matter where the fuck you run to, you're going to deal with the mind of the white man right there. You're going to have to deal with it. That's the reality. You can't escape the mind of the enemy until the enemy is dead. And those that carry that mindset is dead. That has to die in order for you to be free. So, and I wrote on the video to the sister that went to Iceland, and I said, you know, she makes me sick because she don't love herself. She's not comfortable in her own skin.
Why would you go to Iceland? Why would you go to any European country anyway? That makes no sense. But I'm gonna tell you what, when you have Black folk like Burkina Faso, now that's a place to go. You have Ivory Coast, you have Sierra Leone, you have a few, it's two more countries in Africa where the presidents are waking up, right? And they're putting the French out and they're closing all the American base. You have to understand those are the cities where people, they're changing the mindset. They're changing the hearts of the people because the prejudice isn't changing the hearts, and they're kicking those French out. Now that could be a place where, because Burkina Faso already told you, come on back home, we get free visas, come on back. He said you can get business opportunities. I'm just saying these are countries that they're telling Black people, come on over here. This is what we're doing. We're giving out free visas. We're giving you business opportunities. You can come over here with your monies and build up Africa, build up over here. And I do believe that might be a couple, and those are a few places there that we can go. And ain't no racism over there because the president's mindset has changed. So therefore, you have a better chance of being safer mentally. Okay, mentally, I would never touch South Africa too many crackers. And you have some Black countries in Africa where you don't have the Chinese, you don't have white folk. You are having Black presidents, Burkina Faso. I know I'm saying it wrong. Burkina Faso, right? And those are some places where their presidents have changed their mindset, and they're not tolerating white folk. They're not tolerating the mindset. They're changing the whole system. So that could be a few places instead of you going to Iceland and Greenland and all these European countries. What, you could just stay in America if that's where you're going. I'll rest my mic.
And, you know, and this is a thing too, because I was in contact with one of our good friends. And like, as I said last week, they were telling me about, you know, all of this stuff is going on. And at the end of the day, you know, we have to be mindful, because I think it was in St. Kitts The lady went over there, black lady went over there to have her little vacation and was treated wrong, was ignored. White folks were showered and pampered. And she was really upset that she got treated in such a way and to treat it in such a way by black people in a black country. And
guess what? Let me just say one thing with that. Let me just say one thing. You have to check that behavior. You don't sit up there and allow that. Because I'm gonna tell you what, I was in Paris, right? And you got a lot of black workers in those airports, but then you also have that mindset. But when you check that behavior, you don't get that. I went to Kenya. I was there 6 weeks. I had no problems with, black folk acting like that because there wasn't no white folk there when I was there. I'm just saying. But even when I went to Paris and you had the black guy, I straightened his behavior out. I'm sitting up there talking to him. He stopped talking to me to turn to a white woman. I said, excuse me, hold on, we don't do that. I don't know where you're from, but that's not what this is how we gonna do it. When I get done talking, because she put her pants on the same way, you can help her. But after you get done with me, you have to check those behaviors. You don't let stuff like that happen. I'm not gonna get upset, but I'm gonna check that behavior. Because it's time for black folk to hold black people accountable when you act like you don't know how to act with black folk. You have to check that behavior. That could have just been that waiter. But I've been to several black countries and I've not had that to happen. I've gone to Mexico, but I'm just saying I've had it and I'm not tolerating it. That could be that certain person's mindset. Because I know come November, I won't be here in America. But I'm not going to a country where I'm going to be mistreated, where I'm going to see a whole lot of white folk. No, that's not why I'm going. I'm going to get some peace. I'm going because my mind says you need to get up out of here because I need peace right now. And I promised myself that I would never retire in America. So that's why I've been getting stuff. You have to get stuff prepared to be able to do that. I'm not going to live here. That's crazy for me. I'm not going to do it. So whatever they're saying, you have to check the behavior. Who I am is going with me. But go ahead.
Brother Mill says, were you in Kenya, Miss Cassie?
I was. I went to Kenya.
Did you go on a safari?
I did. It was amazing. I was there 6 weeks. I loved it. I had a guy friend of mine. He had an Airbnb. I only paid $23 for it. $23 for the Airbnb. It was rooftop. It was beautiful. It was amazing. And it's so many opportunities. I'm telling you, you go there, you can, for instance, they need like a, how apartment buildings have like garbage dispensaries where they have these big, huge containers. They could use that all over Africa. That's money right there. They have plastic all over. You can create another business. There's so many businesses that you can go over there and create. As far as the IT is concerned, they need a new internet system. I'm telling you, if you go over there, you can get government contracts and make money connected to that to be able to build up the infrastructure. This time is the best time to go because you know who I saw on the planes? Them. If it's so dangerous, where you going? Why are you on the plane? And why I see you trying to buy land up over there? You got no business buying land. And black folk over here can't talk about it if you're not over there doing the same thing. This is your opportunity to go over there and to buy up land. And I bought my daughters 3 hectares. I'm creating generational wealth. Them white folk not gonna come over there and get my children's inheritance. Y'all sit here and talk about the Chinese all you won't give a damn about them Chinese. Because guess what? What's mine is mine. And I'm going to get it. And I'm gonna get as much of it as I can. Because you ain't paying but pay $600 for one. Pay $1,200. Pay $1,000 for it. You have to go over there and invest. They was giving you money when you had that COVID stuff. You're supposed to take that money and invest it in somewhere. You don't go buy a new TV. I was there 6 weeks. I went to Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, Zanzibar, Kenya, and Rwanda. And I didn't have an issue because it's not too many white folk in Rwanda. Okay, not too many. Now you got a few, very few, but I seen that they didn't have a lot of Chinese businesses in where I went in Africa. Now Tanzania, because you have the cruise ship coming in, in Zanzibar, I seen more white folk come through there, but I didn't see a whole lot of them. They have some in Kenya, but it's not a whole lot of them. Not to the extent of South Africa. And I'm telling you, I will go back. You have to go. You have to experience it. If you don't go and experience it, you're doing yourself a disservice. Because America is not the only place. You sit here, you don't have to subject yourself. Because I'm gonna tell you what, Black men in other areas is treated like kings. They're treated so much better than America, and they give you the utmost respect. That passport that we have, that passport, when they see that passport, they give you respect, even when you're Black. I had a young lady that was even in the airport, an older lady, and she was trying to be a fool, right? Oh no, we're gonna talk about that one, and I don't understand what your problem is, but that's not how we operate. We don't operate like that. I said, you treat them bad, so you have to check that. You have to help them to understand that I see what's going on. I'm not that dumb, and check their behavior, because they think they're gonna get away with some stuff. No, we're gonna check that, because that's not how we act with each other. I said, you can't give me that energy, but not give them that energy. You get them a smile, but you come to, but you have to be able to check their behavior. You can't be afraid because you over there dealing with your own to check some behaviors, because you still understand that mindset. Okay, the mindset. You can build schools over there. It's a whole lot that you can do over there, but you got to get over there to see what opportunities, because you may sit here and say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this, this, and this." When you get there, it's totally different. But go ahead, I'm like,
nope, you good, you good.
Donald said. That's great.
They will make you a queen of all Blacks with your warrior spirit.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
All right, definitely we'll watch a few more part of this, and then we're going to move to our next part of the conversation, the Mexican cartel.
Let the people decide for themselves, whether that be the Afrikaners, the Barulong people, the people of Mnyameni, the Xhosa community in the Eastern Cape. We say that is the way forward for the people of South Africa, taking the initiative to look after themselves, because government are not doing it.
Okay, so I put it to you that farmers or crimes on farms are not necessarily just targeted at white farmers. You have Black farmers as well that have become victims of crimes. You have farm workers themselves that have become victims of crimes, and sometimes at the hands of the farm owners themselves. So I disagree with you on that particular part. But let's move on to the issue that you want to raise around self-determination. How do you think self-determination is going to work for a community like yourself in South Africa, considering the inclusive nature of this country?
Well, I think that is the perfect example to prove that in this inclusive nature, quote unquote, is to give the peoples of South Africa, the multiple peoples, the different groups, the opportunity to make decisions for themselves. As I said, that is why we work with other communities and give them some of the recipes that we figured out after 30 years of hard work building Orania, figuring things out, doing everything without any state money or state funds, funding it all ourselves and going through a big pioneer phase. Now we're saying to other communities, well, here's a recipe. You can use it, you don't have to use it, but this is what we are saying. We are saying that communities in control of their own destiny, in control of their own fate, is objectively faring better because they take up the responsibility. So I think the whole conversation about things in public interest and so on, so that we see from the government, can easily be managed. Let the public decide what is public interest. Let the communities of South Africa decide what's public interest, not some agenda that comes from above. No, much rather the peoples on ground level must be able to make those decisions. So self-determination, recognition of peoples as distinct groups, recognition of territories in South Africa, that is the best possible solution. Orania has been saying it from the late 1980s when the Orania movement was founded as Afstig. From that time, we were saying, let the peoples make decisions for themselves. And with that necessarily comes recognition and necessarily comes territory. And that is the way that we work through the land debate. That is the way that we work through the friction in this country. And that is the only way that the communities can take themselves forward peacefully.
Well, as you said, once they get recognized, then comes the land discussion. Once they get recognized and the land discussion comes apart, it's a wrap. So you have to be strong enough to say, well, we ain't going that way. You should be able to look at Israel and Palestine to know you shouldn't be going that way. But, you know, the thing about South Africa, it seems to me that they want to be very political. They want to be very nice. They want to, you know, let's do what's fair. Let's do what's just. Let's do what's just. They wasn't treating you fair. So to come around now and say, well, we're going to do what's fair, you're doing an injustice to your own people. You want to do what's just. And so with that, we're going to switch over to the Mexicans and their Mexican cartels. Now, Trump has declared the cartels to be terrorist organizations now, and it has been decided that they have to go to war with the cartels. Cartels said, okay, well, we're already in America, and we will bring so much violence to America, you ain't gonna know what to do. Black folk, that's still here in America. This you better pay attention to, because this is coming to a city really very near you, if not in your own city. We're going to look at some different maps to show you that, yeah, they're in your city now. So when they say to America, when they say to Trump, oh, we're going to bring violence on a level you have never seen, the question has to be asked, is the American cities, are they set up? Are they ready for the carnage that is about to come? Sister Cassie?
Nope, they're not ready. They already got the Russians here, Chinese here. They've been here for years. You already brought scientists here from overseas, from Germany, that was killing those Jews, you know, the fake Jews, right? They already here. They've been living. They are more Americanized than anybody. They got the cartel here. They just allowed a whole bunch of them across your border. Just like the one man said, the reporter asked him, who are you? What are you doing here? He said, you'll see. What was he saying? Nobody pulled that guy aside and said, hey, come. Let me get some ID on you. They let him just keep on walking. Doop, 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 doop. So they're already here. So black folk, you be ready. You stay out of their way. Let them, you mind your black folk, and let them do what they're going to do over there. And you just, you know, you get out the way. Let them fight their own wars. They ain't got nothing to do with me. I guess I'm planning my escape. I'm already planning my retreat. I'm not doing nothing. I'm not fighting for America. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Let them crackers fight for their own stuff.
And you know, the one of the things is that, you know, the cartels are not going to stop and look and say, okay, you're black, we're not going to kill you. They're going to kill you as well. They're going to, because their object is to bring as much destruction to America as they can.
I mean, my thing is, shoot, look, my thing is, be ready, but stay out of the way. They come to your house, you handle your business. But if you see one of them crackers out there and they fighting with cartel, that ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't give a damn. Have your way. I'm gonna sit back with my popcorn. Long as you don't come over here with it. Long as you don't come on my block. Long as you don't impact my home and my family. Well, I'm gonna sit over here and let them handle their business, because that's America's fight. That's not, I ain't got nothing to do with that.
You know, we're gonna show this video right quick of Colonel Doug McGregor. And I follow him. He's pretty much on point with his military talk. But let's take a look at it and see what he's talking about.
Once we secure the border and make it more difficult for them to make money, it's going to become violent. You're going to see violence on the border, and it's unfortunate, but we know it's coming. Border Patrol is prepared. It's great to have the military on the southern border. They're prepared. It'd be a bad move on their part to harm any Border Patrol agent or soldier, because I think President Trump will reply with great force. Okay. And I think he has the capability of wiping these cartels off the face of the earth if they harm our soldiers or Border Patrol agents. So, word of advice, I wouldn't go there.
So that's something that's not talked about very much in the United States, and not on many people's radars. Can you talk to us about what Homan's talking about there, and what is the risk of bloodshed, especially could there be a war against the Mexican cartels?
We are already at war with the drug cartels in Mexico and Central America. let's be frank, that's not news. We are already at war. They have been at war with us for decades. It has simply reached a fever pitch now. I like Tom Homan, and I wish him all the success in the world, but I am very, very skeptical of what I see happening, because I haven't seen a decisive move to do the things that need to be done. We've talked about this before. First and foremost, you must take control of the border with the U.S. Army. Certainly augment it with Marine Corps ground forces, but you've got to do that. And a military commander must be in charge, because we are at war. That's number one. Everyone in that operation should report to him, whoever he turns out to be, whoever is ultimately selected. And I'm talking about anywhere from 40, 50, 60,000 troops, depending upon the composition of the force. There has to be a systematic surveillance regime set up that looks hundreds of miles into Mexico, that is downlinked in real terms to forces on the ground. And you have to set up a barrier system. You know, all of these things have to be done systematically and thoroughly. It's what we need to do. I don't see that happening. I see incremental contributions here or there. Well, we'll put something here, we'll do this. And now threatening the cartels, the cartels are not interested. They don't care. They have almost an inexhaustible number of people that they can throw at us in all sorts of ways. They have a lot of money. They have access to some of the best military technology in the world. We'll probably end up having things like javelins shot at us before long. And we always knew that once you close that border seriously and stopped the massive flow of drugs into the United States, that you would end up having a war inside our country, because the drug cartels have penetrated the entire country. They reach into all the big cities and now into rural areas. They're going to have to be rooted out. And this is going to overlap with the removal of illegal aliens, people that have no business being in the country. And I think, as you saw recently in LA, and probably we'll see it soon in New York and other places, the usual suspects on the left are going to encourage these people to resist.
Hold on, Maurice.
We can't be bothered with this. We cannot tolerate it.
They don't want to tolerate this, but they started it. They opened the border, Harris. They opened the border for drugs. Let's talk about the drugs. Who went back in Nixon and Reagan and made a deal with the cartels to ship drugs into this country in the first place? They did. So now you want to tell cartel, we don't need you anymore. We get ready to close our borders. The cartel's like, the hell you are. We've been operating in America. This is nothing new. They lying. These people are talking a lot of crap right now. They are lying. They've been dealing with the cartels. They've been dealing with them, getting drugs from them, putting them in our neighborhoods. And then they said, okay, just stay in the black neighborhoods. And they're like, what you mean just stay in the black neighborhood? You allowed us in America. So we come into all neighborhoods. So now you got an issue with the cartels. You created this mess. And then Harris and Biden dug it a little deeper. Here, come on over. You get EBT. You get this. You get that. You get the other. And then you want to come Trump and say, oh, we're going to close it up, seal it up. It ain't never been sealed the way you're talking about doing. So what you think, you're going to start something and then you're going to try to shut it up. Don't start nothing you can't finish. America. This is America's doing. I don't care. I still said I don't care. I don't care. I don't. Why don't I care? This is America's problem. That's their white folk problem. That's your problem. It's not my problem. Because you open that door. Now you want to shut that door and say, oh, no more money, no more nothing for you. They're not gonna let you do this. Them borders been open for years. So why we believe in this dude right now? I ain't hearing what I don't give what, blow it up. I don't care.
I think the point is that he is telling the truth. This is the situation that we have to deal with. You're telling the truth that America did start this. America let the drugs flow for their reasoning. America did things in Venezuela and all of these countries that you have the illegal immigrant coming from. America's dirty hands are in the dirt in their original countries. My position on this is when, because not if, but when the cartels do attack, we're in these cities that they're coming to attack. And so since we're in these cities that they're coming to attack,
you better be ready.
We better be ready. We better be ready mentally, spiritually, physically, because you're going to have to shoot somebody.
Okay, we got to do that. We got to do that.
They don't care that you're non-white. Their object is to bring hurt and pain to the citizens of America, to the political game in America, to force them to back down. Now, by us being here in America, we're the ones, some of us will be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and they come right on through and shoot the damn place up or blow the damn place up. But this havoc that's about to be let loose in America, you don't know who to be.
Even with that,
Mm-hmm.
Let's go deeper.
Okay.
Let's go deeper.
Mm-hmm.
We always don't go spiritual with this.
Mm-hmm.
We always got to go spiritual. You got to make sure your family is covered. And that prayer is, let my family be in the right place at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
This is not my problem. And I'm going to make sure it's not going to be my kids' problem either. So my prayer for my children every single day to make sure that we coming against that enemy. And that's a spiritual, we're talking about a spiritual battle here. It's always about a spiritual battle. Always. So your prayer as a parent is to keep my child safe. Make sure that I'm on the right flight, for one. Did you know they got planes falling out the sky every day? I don't care about that either. Because if I'm on the plane, it's going to be safe because of the prayers of the righteous. I'm just saying, you gotta look at this thing the right way. I'm not worried about my children being affected by this because the prayer of the righteous availeth much. My children would not ever be at the wrong place at the wrong time. The grounds that they walk on is going to be blessed and covered. My grandchildren, my whole lineage is covered. We have to stop thinking a certain way. Black folk are first spiritual than anything else. So we got to go spiritual with this. You have to. You cannot say I'm spiritual, but then yet you're looking at it a worldly way. I can't look at it like that. I have to know that whatever plane I'm on, it's going to be a safe plane for me and my family. That wherever my feet step, it's going to be safe. No premature death is coming to my children. No premature death is coming to my lineage. These are the prayers that you're supposed to be speaking over your children. You're keeping your children safe. Like I said, that's not my problem. That's Trump's problem, his children's problem, citizens, the Senate, the Congress, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden's, that's their problem. I'm good. We have to keep it spiritual. We can't think like that. That's their stuff. But go ahead. I understand what you're saying, though. But I have to look at it a different way.
Right. You know, we are, it's definitely a spiritual thing. But there's nothing in the spiritual that says that we won't be in those places. There just isn't. There's nothing.
Maurice, yes. Yes.
Well,
You have to understand when you're talking about the spirit realm, okay, you could shut them devils down. You have the authority. He gave you the authority to tread upon serpents and scorpions, right? Don't tell me the scripture and then I'm not going to walk in it. My family has to walk in it. I have to walk in this. I don't believe that he's going to let me book a flight with a plane that's going to fall out the sky. That's not how I look at stuff. And if I do, when I get there, I'm coming. You said this. Why am I here? I'm just saying, this is how I think. My children will be safe. This is not my fight. This is not my children's fight. That's some Reagan, okay, and Nixon's, their lineage fight. Trump's lineage fight. That's not my lineage. You spiritually first. You backing up them spirits. You backing up them demons. You backing up them witches that's sitting up there trying to, okay, they've been assigned. You won't be assigned to my children. You won't be assigned to my situation. You won't be assigned to my home because I know the authority and I'm walking in it. And my children will be safe. You got to understand the spirit realm, honey. You do, because he told you, I give you the authority to tread upon scorpions and serpents and over the enemy. So what are you telling me? What are you saying?
what I'm saying is that when I look at the conditions of our people, and we could be a lot of our people caught up in spirituality and they don't do a damn thing because they don't understand the damn thing of what they're talking about.
But you're going to do your research. You as a brother.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about me. I'm not talking about my family. My family is covered. My family is squared away.
Exactly. So we have to begin to teach
our people, right? But our people. See, this is the thing. We got to meet our people where they are, right? And so some of the spiritual stuff and all this stuff, it goes over their heads. And if it goes over their heads, we're not reaching them. We're not
doing something right.
We're not teaching them. So we have to prepare them for what is the reality that's coming on this ground, so that they don't be caught off and shocked and then not able to do anything because they're not prepared. We're making them prepared by telling them, hey, look, this is what's coming. This is what's coming. Ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about it. This is what you got to prepare for. And there's nowhere in the prophecies that I know of that says none of the righteous will not be touched. That's nowhere in any of the prophecies that I know of that the righteous will not be touched, that the righteous will not have to suffer anything, that the righteous don't have to go through anything. I've never seen a prophecy of that such.
But you have to understand, a lot of times people don't understand the spirit realm as far as, and this is where we lack. This is what we're supposed to be teaching. We're supposed to be teaching about the spirit realm. We're supposed to be teaching about the different witches and how they operate. We're supposed to be teaching that. And a lot of things happen to Black folk because of the lack of understanding. Just like he said, my people will perish for the lack of understanding. He told you that. But when you backing them up and you understand who you are in the spirit realm, and you know how to shut down the witches, and you know how to shut down the atmosphere, you know how, this is what we need to be teaching them. If you want to sit up here and tell me that I'm going to sit up here and be afraid, I can't do it. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we're supposed to be teaching Black folk that's coming here how to really walk in the authority that God gave you. We're walking in the authority. And if you, Donald, don't understand the authority, I don't know what to tell you, because I'm sitting up here telling you the authority, and you trying to tell me, well, this is not realistic. It may not be for you, and you'll be the one to be hurt because of the authority that I walk in. I understand the authority, the spirit realm of the atmosphere, and how to shut it down. You have to know that. You cannot sit up here and be on surface level. You dealing with a spirit realm that don't care about you enough. You have to understand that they know who you are. They know where you stand. They know the authority of your faith, and they know the authority that comes out of your mouth. They know you when they see me across the street. They know who I am spiritually. You have to understand that. And a lot of Black folk don't understand the authority that they hold. This is why we can walk and say, this is not realistic. It might not be for you, but it is for me. It's according to what I say. Because the life and death is in the power of my tongue, and I walk in that authority in every area of my life. And I understand everybody don't do that.
Look, and this is the reality of what we're talking about in the spiritual. And it's just like I told the Africans who believe in voodoo, and they, I'm worried about this person gonna put a voodoo on me. Like, wait a minute. If voodoo is real, if it can affect people, why you ain't do it on them crackers when they came? Is it something that
they doing it on their own?
They do. So if the voodoo can't kill them, I don't want to hear shit about it because it's ineffective. And I like to stay grounded because our enemies are real.
Okay, so now, by you saying you want to stay grounded, what does that mean?
But listen to this question, says Cassie. Can we go into the spiritual realm and kill our enemies that they don't exist any longer in the physical realm?
You could go in the physical, you can go in the spirit realm and shut them down. Yes.
No, but my question that I ask is,
yes, you can go in the spirit realm
and you can kill them, and it's going to manifest physically that they're dead.
Yes.
Can you show me an example?
Yes, I can show you. Okay, for prime example, when he said that we are not walking in our authority, And then a lot of people will say, I mean, you can look at even stuff right now coming true. Okay. The other lady that was talking about planes falling out the sky. Is that not happening?
I mean,
Right.
yeah, it's happening.
Okay.
But I could say, I remember Elijah Muhammad said that was going to happen because Master Farad Muhammad told him that that's what's going to happen.
Okay. So that came true, right?
Yeah.
So when you don't, so when you don't understand the spirit realm, when you don't really understand it, and a lot of people in the church don't understand it. They don't understand how you can be subjected to the spirit realm because of relatives. How your blessings could be blocked because of relatives. Okay. How premature death can come to you because of your relatives. There are things that you have to do in the real, in the now, in the spirit realm to stop a lot of this stuff, to shut those doors. And people don't understand that. Certain things just don't happen to certain people because of the authority that they walk in. Certain things don't happen to people because of them walking and understanding the spirit realm. And a lot of people say they understand, they really don't. Because if you could sit up here and you could say, you see, okay, for instance, we see Christian children dying, right? But what do we say? They say, oh, my child is blah, 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 but it's still, did you shut the door? Did you shut the door to arthritis? Did you shut the door to the spirit realm as far as it generational curses that hit your family? Are you shutting those doors? No, because a lot of Christians don't understand that because the church is not teaching you that. You have to expose yourself to different things to understand how it really works. So a lot of stuff that you may not understand realistically and say, oh, that's not realistic. I understand them.
But then that goes back to my point, though. Give me an example of that actually happening, that we went into, or somebody.
How we went there, but can we really give you an example of that? Can I really give you an example of that? I believe that I believe, yes, we can, but I can't give you an example because I don't know somebody else's life. But I'm not going to say it don't happen. Wait a minute. I'm not going to say it doesn't happen because I believe that it does. And it's all of my
belief and knowing is two different things.
No, your belief is knowing.
Belief I can believe that there's an airplane sitting on my porch, but don't make it so that there's an airplane sitting on my porch.
No, let's go deeper than that. Okay, let's go deeper. If I'm going deeper and I'm in a spirit realm and and people don't understand this, and this is as far as your understanding of the spirit realm. You have to do research to understand what I'm talking about. I can't physically go and say, well, so-and-so, because I don't know their life. I can only talk about me. I can only talk about how I deal with the spirit realm. I can only talk about when I get on the airplane, I'm safe. Okay. But I've heard people talk, well, oh my goodness, about this airplane. No, I don't talk. It's a certain way that you talk. It's a certain way that you hold yourself. It's a certain understanding and belief that that you may not even understand. So I'm not going to sit up here and say, no, it can't happen because I've never done it. Don't mean it can't. I'm looking at the word and I'm understanding the word. He's saying your people walk in lack of knowledge and understanding, and that's how they dying. So according to your faith and according to what comes out of your mouth, it's what you're gonna have. I'm not speaking that. I don't believe that because you have to understand the spirit realm, and a lot of Black folk don't understand how this thing works. They don't.
Right.
So they can talk like that and say, "Oh, that's not realistic." It is for me. It may not be for you, but it is for Cassie.
Okay, but look, and I'm keeping it 1,000%, right? Because if I knew I could go in the spiritual realm, and kill people, and it affect them in the physical realm, we wouldn't have anything to worry about.
People have done that. Do you not understand that people have done that?
Give me somebody who's done this. You haven't even done it.
Hold on. There is somebody. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you. Hold on. And she's actually done it. I'm gonna get her name. Give me a time. Her husband actually just died. Right? And he had money. The money went to her. I mean, you have to understand. Let me get her name. Just go ahead. Keep talking.
Right. So, because if I know how to go in the spiritual realm and kill the enemies of our people, they would already been dead. Because I'm going to use that to go up and do it and let it manifest physically. Then we ain't got to worry about racism. We ain't got to worry about none of that because the problem would be solved. And so since the problem ain't solved and we're still here, they're still here, then it seemed to me quite evident that nobody knows how to go in the spiritual realm and kill somebody in the physical realm and it be done. I remember, Brother Don, I don't know if you remember, but the Honorable Elijah Muhammad did a radio program because somebody had attacked one of the Muslims, a white man. And the messenger said that that white man better be dead before the end of the day, or all my believers that's down there in that area, I'm going to disown you. And what happened? That white man was dead before the end of the day. And here we are.
Happened, right? Did it happen? Did it happen? It happened, right?
It happened. It happened in the physical because the brothers went down there and dealt with it, and he's no more living. So, that's my thing. If as spiritual as Black people are, as connected to the God as we are, at some point we should have learned this from somebody. We should have learned this because they should be able to say, this is how you do it. Now,
how do you learn something if you're afraid of it? How do you learn from a people that you're afraid of? Sometimes, for instance, you have a person that's an ex.
People have to teach us how to do it.
No. Listen. Say, for instance, you know of a person that was an ex-witch, okay? And they're telling you how and what they did in the spirit realm when they were serving the enemy, okay? You have stuff like that, right? They have told you what to do. They've told you how they did it. They've told you what they did. You have to understand that when they're telling you this is what we did, but this is how we counteracted, this is what we did, you're understanding how to counteract it. But if I'm not exposed to that realm, if I'm not exposed to that person that was an ex anything, how do you know how to fight against that? Some people won't even listen to an ex-witch. Some people won't even listen to how they did it and how they was, sent to do this, and they were sent to the church to do this, and to understand how by them being a witch, they go into the church, they get hooked up with the pastor's son. Okay, listen, you don't understand. Sometimes we don't even understand how this stuff trickles down because these are not avenues that you'll open up to yourself to understand how it happened. So once you understand how it happens, then you can step back and say, okay, so when I've seen this in the past, that was happening. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't even understand this conversation that we're doing right now.
And so this is my thing about witches, because I don't believe in witches. I don't believe
it doesn't matter what you believe in. Listen to me.
And this is the reason. This is the reason. Because we all know about the Salem witch burnings and all of that, right?
Do you understand that those were prophets and not witches?
Let me finish. If they were real witches, right? How in the hell you got power, but you're going to let somebody tie you to a stake and burn your ass up? But you a witch. You got power to make shit move. You got power, to do what the little bewitched lady did on TV.
That's
and
not
make
even
people disappear and come back.
Nice.
But you can't affect nobody that's tying you to a stake and burning you alive. Then your witchery, your witchcraft don't work.
Oh, no. Okay. I understand what you're saying. But because you don't believe in it does not mean it's not happening. You cannot believe in something all you want. Doesn't mean it's not happening. Okay. Situations
with these powers that can come here and do that. Show me the witch.
Hold on.
Because I'm telling many so-called witches on YouTube to prove that you's a damn witch. Show me. Where's your magical powers? Where you can pop in and pop out?
That's not you're looking at this totally different. You're not understanding the situation. You're not understanding the how they'll send people to a situation, how they'll send people to, like, okay, for instance, one lady was talking about, and I've understand, because I look at the X, this and that, because I want to understand. I need to understand, how do I, as Cassie, how do I counteract that? When I see you have to be exposed and you have to understand the situation in order to fight a situation. I can't fight something that I don't know about. So I'll listen to that and be like, oh, so when I saw that, what you see stuff and you be like, oh, that's what was going on. So you understand the situation. It's not because you don't believe that it's not happening. It probably is happening. You just don't understand what it's connected to. So you can't say, oh, show me da 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 and show me. A lot of, just like I just told you, a lot of black folk believe the same way you believe, the same way a lot of other black folk believe, but not saying it's not happening. They're not putting two and two together. They're not putting two and two together. Let me hold on. Let me get the name.
I'm just saying, show me the evidence. You want me to believe in it? Show me the
I
evidence.
don't need you to believe in it. You have to, because some people may not never. You may not never get it. Hey, my thing is, if I'm looking over here to learn, I'm going to understand here how to counteract that. I'm not going to sit up here walking in the ignorance of me because I'm saying, oh, it can't happen. Whatever. I know a guy now sick. He was in Africa for so many months talking about what was going on in Africa. That man is dealing with a health issue. You don't believe that had something to do with him running his mouth? You don't believe that?
I know.
When y'all done, let me step in, please, sir.
What I believe is that we have a real enemy that operates right here in the physical, and to do battle, as they say, the battle will take place in the sky, which means that there's going to be a battle mentally first to figure out what needs to be done and then make it happen. I don't believe in witchcraft. I don't believe in, shaking their nose and then magic happens. People appear and reappear.
Ain't nobody shaking their nose. That's TV stuff
you're
talking about. That's
if
what you're talking about.
If it couldn't kill the enemy when they had the voodoo in Africa and it couldn't hurt white folks over there, and all it could do is hurt their own kind of people, then
were they going after white folk? Were they going after white folk? That's what you need to ask the question. Were they going after white folk, or were they going after their own? Willie Lynch went after his own. Willie Lynch taught you how to go after your own. Willie Lynch didn't teach you how to go after white folk. Willie Lynch taught you as a black man to go after your black woman, to do stuff against your black woman.
Prior to Willie Lynch, we're talking prior to Louisville. I'm talking about when I asked the Nigerian, when y'all saw the white folks coming here, and they got here, y'all knew what they were about. Why didn't you use voodoo on them?
You think some of them didn't die?
Voodoo on them?
Do you think some of them
didn't? And it evidently it didn't work, because he had to even bear witness. It didn't work, because if it worked, they'd have kept using it, and it would have been used each and every time that they showed up.
They still
do use it. It didn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. There's no evidence that it works.
It's no evidence according to who?
There's nobody out here that's going and saying whatever the magic words is, whatever the magic sprinkles, whatever the magic dolls you got to create, and stick pins all up in them. Trump gonna die and have a heart attack. Come on, let's bring it for real.
Okay, but see, what you talking about is TV. We're not talking about TV. That's TV stuff. What you talking about is TV.
How it happens. Tell me
what you talking about is TV.
Okay,
you don't understand that the enemy has his people and God has his people, do you? You obviously don't.
Understand that the devil got his people, God got his people.
Okay. So what you're telling me is you don't believe that they have any powers.
What I'm saying is they have the power to do what they do.
No, that's not what you said.
Do they have the power to spiritually go up and kill me, and then I'm gonna drop dead in the physical? No, they don't have the power to do that.
Okay, if you don't understand, see, this is how you can say stuff like that, because you don't understand the spirit realm. That's how you can sit here and say stuff the way you're saying it. Because if you have to understand, hold on. If you have the understanding of the spirit realm,
who has done it. You haven't even done it.
I'm trying to tell you, because you don't know that somebody has done it does not mean it doesn't operate. You sound, come on, Maurice, don't let me, come on.
No, I'm being real, because if there is a way that I can spiritually go up in the realm and kill the enemies of my people, teach it to me, because I'm ready to go do it. And they're going to fall dead in the physical, but I did it in the spiritual. And it's going to free my people.
It's being done every day.
Teach it.
Done every day.
Teach thousands of our people
it's being done every day.
Can I step in, please, sir, ma'am?
Go ahead.
Both of you guys are right, but allow me to speak because I really want to try to focus in on what this is all about. Mind, word, and the physical body. That is the road to manifesting what you want to exist in your life. Good, bad, or indifferent. Right? We can all agree with that. What is going on is what has been going on since day one with our ancestors, with these motherfuckers. The handwriting is on the wall. You reap what you sow. The mother and father shall either bless or curse their children somewhere down the line. These are all very ancient spells that the universe knows very well. Evil will always defeat itself in the end. Always ALWAYS and always ALLWAYS and a lot of other expressions that are part of the karma. That is the universal mind that said when you do things wrong, wrong will come back to you. You reap what the fuck you sow. This is where we get these so-called people who perhaps do the voodoo or whatever. I, for myself, and I agree with you, Brother Marie, the motherfucker don't work. I have had people say, I'm going to do the voodoo. I got the voodoo down you. And well, do I need to go into that? The motherfucker don't work. All right? What works, faith without work, is what did. The reason why that we are seeing the changes in our political currency, economic currency, spiritual currency, and physical currency, because we're getting up out of our feelings and emotions with the bullshit of a white Jesus that has been the curse of our mindset. It is a trick that white folks have been doing. But once you wake up out of that mindset, out of that matrix of lies and deceit, now you can see the so-called how you say it, Brother Marie? The magic of advertising. Nigga, this shit ain't hard. We've been doing this shit since the walls of Egypt has been putting pictures on a motherfucker. Because our ancestors have understood what you see here, what you see here, what you speak. The power is in the tongue. And if all you ever known is white folk doing it, that, and the other, and we ain't never did shit, don't they ever fucking tell you that you are the very essence of the black universe filtered down into black human form? They can't break that shit. They can trick us, as they did. They can cast spell. That's why it's called spelling, motherfucker. Use letter create word create sentences, create books and what have you. It is a constant drip of negativity that these motherfuckers learn from us. Do you understand where I'm coming from? It is not very hard to understand that. If I take my two kids right now and tell them they're a bunch of stupid motherfuckers, you'll never be shit in your life. You'll never counter. It's not a fucking spell. It is. I ain't got a. That's a statement, motherfucker. That's not a question. I know motherfucking well that as soon as we get our political, and we've been talking about this on the show, our economic currency that influence political currency. I did Angola with Portugal. Now Portugal is the playground of the rich and famous. I guess I don't know what you want to call it. Of the global of the Angola elite. There ain't no more of that nigga this, nigga that. And it's the same thing that's going to be happening in Spain and France with Burkina. I don't know how you say Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. The same thing. And we are waking up. And you just seen that this brother who came out with the battery, not a battery, but whatever the hell it is, you don't have to recharge. And I even wrote to them and asked them, is there a portable one that you can use for the home? And the idea is that nothing can stop us. Nothing but us. An old African proverb said, when two brothers fight to the death, the stranger in the middle gets the key to the fucking house and the land. That's all of what this shit is. And I am in 100% in the corner of Malema, or something, whatever the case may be, or whatever the fuck is going on in South Africa, in every part of Africa, because we are the key to progress in the world. The black man is the only fucking man that can put the white boy in his fucking place. We did this shit in Egypt. We did this shit in Greece and Rome. Now we're about to do this shit again. And we're not about to. We are doing it, just getting worse. Because you know why? Real simple. They don't want you to know. The revolution will not be televised. They will not tell you that the spell has been broken. Duh. The more you know about yourself and your history, because when you know the past, you can understand the present and predict the future. You are seeing yourself into the future all day long, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because not in the power, not in the future, is now. That is why they fear unity with black folks. I rest my fucking case. I really want. I want to go on more, but if you don't see that shit, fuck you. I'm just keeping this shit real. And I give no fuck about these white folks. Get your fucking. You know what? Let me say this, and I'll end it. When I was a little boy, I would go to the high school in a big ass park, not parking lot, like the front of the school or whatever. Well, we would play off the wall, right? Baseball. And he would always win. I was like, God damn, I can't win this motherfucker. And we'd be close. Ain't like he blowing me out the water. But the idea that one guy came along and broke the spell. I think I talked about this. And he was saying, young man, what's going on? I can't strike this motherfucker out. He said, you know what he said? He said, don't worry about it. Just pitch. And then all of a sudden, the whole brain chemistry changed from here, from losing all the damn time. And my friend, talking about me, I said, you suck. to winning. So the idea is that we have to inculcate the mindset of our ancestors within us now, motherfucker. That's the guy. Our ancestor is the guy that was trying to tell me about what to do. And the answer has always been there. Fuck all white folks. And get your shit together. Get economic currency that dictates a political currency, that dictates spiritual freedom, that dictates physical freedom. And when you have all of those four working on the same level, at the same speed, at the same frequency, at the same vibration, one can't be more wild than the other or lesser than the other one. It all has to be on the same fucking level. Positivity, unity, positivity, unity, positivity, unity. And then when we see that happening, and we're seeing it fucking now in South Africa, they're getting killed. That ain't no motherfucking secret. Because you know why it's not being talked about? They don't want it to be out that white folks are dying. And Trump can't save them. When I wrote my book, it was on their birth rate was like less than 1, like 0.09. Now with the juice, it's like 0.03, 0.04. They're dying. They're dying. And they dying. And they need your melanin. They need your melanin. They need your melanin. And they need to be co-opting with you having babies so that this seed doesn't die. These motherfuckers don't belong on this fucking earth. They're here by accident. And as Emil was saying, the world is fading to black. There's no if, there's no and, there's no but about that motherfucking shit. And I give no fuck about white folks. I hate them motherfuckers because they are the living embodiment of the 7 fucking deadly sins. I'm not hating just because I'm hating, nigga. But I'm telling you that white folk fear us because they know when we wake up, the game is over, done, and said. As it is written, so shall it be. As it is said, so as it is said, so shall it be. As it is written, so it was, or it is. I'm trying to remember. But the idea is the same. Our ancestors speaking through us right now. But we got to connect back. If we disconnect from that shit, from our ancestors, you know what I mean? From their words, from their wisdom, from their knowledge, from their understanding, we become lost again. But we're not lost when we know. There's no guessing allowed. There's no I believe. I think. No, motherfucker. When you talking to me, there's no motherfucking guessing or thinking that I'm a fucking Jew and that the Jews were real. I know all about that shit. And I'm always learning. Make my faith and our ancestors just that much stronger, just that much louder, just that much power that they have in this present moment. I did a 5-minute video of King Louis XIV, the Sun King. That motherfucker was blacker than black. But white folks don't want you to know that motherfucking shit. Because they know once you wake up to the reality that you are royalty upon the planet, that you are gods upon the fucking planet. Ain't nobody gonna be touching you, baby. I throw it back at you. And fuck all white folks.
All right, thank you, Brother Isaiah. I want to welcome Norma X to the program. Peace and blessings, Norma. We're glad you're here. I want to welcome Brother Bakari to the program. Peace and blessings, Brother Bakari. We're glad that you're here as well. Our topic was, we dealt with the first half, the Afrikaners are coming to America in the war with the Mexican cartels, which is also coming to America. Right now, we're having a discussion on witchcraft. And Sister Cassie did send me a video. And
you know what? I'm still looking for the one that I saw with that named the individual and what happened to her husband and what comes the steps. Just because you guys don't believe in a certain thing does not mean it's not happening. Because you can look at individuals' lives. You can see their children. You can see their children's lives. You can see a lot of pastors' kids that go through a lot of hell. And it's all for a reason. But if you guys don't understand that, then it could be things happening in your life that you don't even understand. You've not put two and two together. You're just assuming it's something, that's just happening. Okay. But if you understand the generational curses, and if you see diabetes, if you see a heart attack, and that's a trait in your family, it's called a generational curse. And it's a certain way to break that. But if you don't think it's a generational curse, you'll continue suffering with that for the remainder of your life.
Let me ask you this, Sis Cassie, dealing on that you just made. Go on, Brother Isaiah.
Okay.
If diabetes is a generational curse, do you cure diabetes?
No, you don't get rid of the curse.
Okay, so you speak some words and the diabetes.
You seal the door. If you don't understand what sin was connected to the diabetes, then it's going to continue. But if this is stuff that Christianity is not even teaching you about. But if you listen to certain individuals and you understand it, then you'll know how to seal the door. It's a spiritual door that's open. You seal the door, you seal the curse. But if you don't understand how to seal the door, if you're not understanding how this thing works, you're going to suffer with it continuously and you'll die of diabetes.
So diabetes have nothing to do with
nothing to do. It's a spiritual matter.
It has nothing to do with nothing with your eating, your life. It has nothing to do with that.
It has everything to do with the spirit realm. If my grandma, great for 5 generations suffered with diabetes, is that a door? Is sin connected to that door? But here you go again. Black folk don't understand the spirit realm. So you'll say, oh, it's got a lot to do with my health. It's got a lot to do with what I ate. It's got a lot to do. It's a spiritual matter. Seal the door and you can get rid of diabetes. But people don't understand that. So go ahead and suffer with diabetes if you don't understand. What do you have to lose to go back in the spirit realm as far as your family trait and understand how to seal those doors and seal the doors and see if diabetes goes away or not?
So let me ask you, by just using that you gave us as the premise, if a person door is sealed,
how do you seal the door? You got to understand how to do it.
I'm just saying.
Okay, go ahead.
For the premise, using your argument, if the door has been sealed,
you should not see diabetes in your family.
So then that means that you can eat all the stuff that you want to eat that will cause you to have diabetes. You can eat all the pig, you can eat all, and you won't have no health problems.
Well, it's a lot of people that do eat like that and have no health problem. A lot of people eat like that. A lot of people eat pig. I don't. You don't. But a lot of people don't eat pig or do eat pig and they don't have diabetes. It's a lot of people that eat crazy stuff anyway. And they drink and they smoke and they're not alcoholics. They get high every day, but they're not drug addicts.
So, but my question is,
I just answered your question.
So yeah, that can happen. That can happen.
Isaiah, what I'm saying is you have to understand.
No. Hold on. Go ahead.
We're gonna go spiritual here. You have to understand how did the door open in the first place. Okay. For instance, my dad was a rapist, right? So in our family, you have a lot of sexual sin. So what do? I have to seal that door. I have to confess that sin, repent for that sin. It doesn't matter who's sin. It doesn't matter whose door. It doesn't matter if my grandma opened that door. A lot of doors aren't even your doors. It's your grandparents. It's your ancestors' doors. But by you not understanding how to seal those doors, you continue to allow those doors to stay open. So you continue to see it in every generation. When you understand that door is a spiritual matter and it was due to sin, and you seal that door and you confess that door and you're repenting for that door, then you don't see that door in the next generations. But if you want to continue seeing the door, think I'm crazy and not do it and continue suffering with it, because I don't care if you do or not, because I already know how to deal with my family. I already see what's going on in my family. So you can sit there and think I'm crazy and not do it. Don't do it, but I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna see a change. That's all.
Well, I love the both of y'all. You know that. It ain't about who's right or who's wrong. But I will no. Fill me out. I'm with Sister Cass, 100%.
You don't have
but
to.
I think, hold on, baby.
You can believe it. You can believe it. But guess what? My life is good. My children are good for a reason.
Look,
so
but you're right.
You can with that same old stuff if you want to, generation after generation, or you can sit there and try it. Until you try it, don't talk about it, because you can't talk about it.
Right.
I'm lived in it.
But if I'm wrong, you can correct me. Say, Isaiah, hold on. But let me step on out here. It is so very important to understand the mind, the tongue, and your actions. God said, "Let there be light," and that's all that needed to be said, right? But for us, we have to take the action to do what we want to do, to make it work, and to bring it into existence in the natural world in which we live. Am I right or wrong, Sister Cass? You're on mic.
What? Say again. I'm trying to find something.
No. I was saying that the road to manifesting what you want start with your mind, and then your tongue, and then your actions. Your faith without work is dead. If you ain't working towards your goal, you'll never make it. Am I right or wrong? You can pray for $1 million, but if you're not trying to start a business, if you're not trying to go public, if you're not trying to invest your money in the three ways that we know we can make money, stock market, real estate, and starting your own business, you just dreaming. Am I right or wrong?
Let me just say, even what you just said, you can try to start a business, and if entrepreneurship is in your family, but if you have a spiritual curse of stopping that spiritual journey as far as entrepreneurship from growing, because I've seen it to where you start a business and nothing happens. You try to do this, nothing happens. You try to go forward, you get kicked 5 stores back. You can't. Every time you try to go forward, I've seen that. I've seen it.
Okay.
You have to seal those
I agree.
order, then that means that there's a spiritual matter. That means that there's something spiritual going on in your family. Not that you did it, but a generation or an ancestor did it. But if I see it, then I have to confess it. I have to seal that door because I see it. It's up to me to break it, because a lot of people don't understand and they don't know how to walk in the truth. They don't know how to close those doors. And it's not even your sin. And Namar said something. He said something about, well, what if it's not your sin? He said, I visit the sins of the fathers to the 3rd and 4th generation. What does that mean? That means that if your grandfather committed a sin and paying for that sin, or not, then somebody in that family is going to pay for that sin. You see us going through stuff right now that our ancestors did back then, and we're suffering for it for today. Am I correct?
That's true. The old saying goes, the sins of the father and mother, and the sins of the father and mother, as well as the blessings are visited upon the children. Yeah. That is true. I'm not backing away from that. But what I'm trying to say is, no, but feel me out. Hear me out and feel me for every letter, every word, because I like being thorough. But if a person, success comes through the doors of failure. Let me put that out there.
That's how you think of it. That's how you see it. Success comes when you're manifesting it. You're walking in it. You're walking in it.
I'm just saying that.
But success don't always come through that, because if you have something on your family, on your lineage that's stopping it, you won't get successful. I don't care what you do. You can walk in that thing, and you can walk in that thing, and you can get knocked back 10 times. Every time you get momentum, you get knocked back. Every time you get momentum, you get knocked back. That's a spiritual matter, but you have to recognize it in order to understand it, to understand how you need to shut it down. But if you continue seeing that, you can go the rest of your life seeing that spiritual ram go and get knocked back down and think that's the way of life. It's not, because you're not putting two and two together.
Well, let me expand on that before we go on. But the idea is that if you have been a fool in his money to a shoe part, right? That's the normal way of looking at it. Because if you're trying to make money, you're always spending money, you're always wasting money, you're always doing everything else opposite to what it will draw money to you, then you're not going to ever have it. Now, as far as what you are saying, I agree 100%. But to unseal that door so that opportunity come your way, you have to do everything opposite of what has been done. It's just that simple. If I want to eliminate ignorance, I have to get knowledge. If I want to eliminate foolishness out of my life, I have to get wisdom, and so on and so forth.
How do you get wisdom? How do you get wisdom? How do you get wisdom?
Well, from my ancestors, from my mother and father, from reading books and other people who have positivity that is bringing that I probably will never meet or have died.
If you still have something connected to your life, you can have positivity all you want. You can think positive thoughts all you want, but if there's something connected to your life, it's not going to work. It's a spirit. You guys are talking right here. You're not going deeper. You got to go deeper. You can stay here.
I feel what you're saying. Believe me, I feel what you're saying. But just like
you know what, I'm not saying this for anybody to believe it. If you believe it, good. If you don't, it's okay. Whatever. We can move forward with the conversation, because a lot of people are not ready for this conversation, and it's okay. You'll never be ready, and it's okay. I'm not offended or affected, because I'm good. Right. So if you don't, sometimes we can't put two and two together. Just like this world is going through something right now. Them white folk ain't putting two and two together. They can't. They don't know how. But I know how to put it two and two together, because sometimes you got to do a little more research. You got to go there. You got to talk to people that's been doing this stuff for years. And one young lady was connected to the enemy for 18 years. I listened because she's talking, because she's been there, done that, and now she's into another ram, a new ram, a ram that's working, then she's telling you, and this is what's going on here. This is what I did. This is how I made the connections. You have to listen to that in order to understand how to combat, or even how to put two and two together. A lot of people don't know how to do that. So of course, what I'm saying is crazy, because you've never understood. You can walk in what you've been walking in, and whether it's working for you or not. And some stuff is not working, and you don't even understand why it's not working. So you didn't care to find out why it's not working. You're just going to walk in what is working. And that's okay, because that's what your life is. But I want to be successful in every area. And if I see an area of my life, I'm going to understand how to combat that area. And I'm going to be successful in that area, because I understand how to seal those doors, and I understand what the attachment, how do I break the attachments? You have to break the attachments. For instance, if somebody's been married for 5 and 6 times, what's going on? There is a spirit ram there. There's a door. There's something going on in that spirit ram that you don't even understand. You just think, oh, it's me. I'm just bad at relationship. I'm just bad at women. I'm just bad at me, and I'm just having a rough time, or I'm just horrible at marriage. That doesn't mean that. You can understand that, because it may be a spirit of divorce in your family. So how do I combat that? People don't understand that. So we could just sit up there and keep marrying 5 and 6 and 7 mates and think it's the mate and not you. or it's not your family, or not your family trait. So we continue walking in that. Okay, you either want to be healed, set free, or do you want to continue being, you have 10 more wives? And it's still going to be you, because it's something connected to you. It's something connected to your family. It may not even be yours. It could be your grandfather's. It could be your great grandfather's. He said, but I visit the sins to the third and fourth generation. That scripture is real. But y'all can sit there and keep saying, oh, Cassie crazy. You know what? I might be, but guess what? I'm delivered. I'm a walking oil of what God called me to walk in. Trust and believe that. So go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you just answered the question. So, you gotta combat this situation and make it work.
And what's connected to first. You got to understand
Right.
this situation.
Right.
You can't just walk in something, because we see stuff in our lives all the time. Some people deal with pornography. Is that yours? No, it may not. It may be your grandfather's. That's all he did. And he was a molester, he was a rapist, and he did a whole lot of other sexual sins. He was into bestiality. He was into all that stuff. And now you got to deal with it. But people don't understand that. They think my sin is my sin. No, you could be walking in your father's sin, your grandfather's sin, your great grandfather's sin. So that's why you're dealing with drugs. That's why you're dealing with alcoholism. That's why you're dealing with anger. That's why you're dealing with poverty, lack, insufficiency, and debt, because it's may not even be yours. But next,
yeah, okay. I agree. Marie, look, as far as the boards go, right?
Self-improvement has nothing to do with it, Donald Muhammad. Self-improvement has nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with self-improvement. I can think positive all day long, but if I'm not dealing with that spirit realm and that spirit is still connected to me, I can think positive. I can do everything. But if I don't close that door and go in the spirit realm and combat that and fight that spirit, I can still walk in lack.
Well, I agree. I mean, but having positivity ain't all of what you need. You need. Look, for me, all right. So I can only speak for me, because I worship the God of Isaiah.
Welcome, Nikki. Nicole. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Right, but the idea is, for me, for you to be successful in whatever you want to do, you have to be happy. Happiness means doing the thing or things in your life that give you meaning, purpose, sense of direction, and fulfillment. And when you are loving what you do, it's not going to be like work. Success comes through doing what you love to do. There are a lot of people who
still up here, Isaiah. You still on the superficial. You still up here.
Yeah, that's not superficial. That's very, very deep, because a lot of people don't get it. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, from my point of view, from my life experiences and all of that. It's like me, being the next Tommy Hilfiger or being the next Louis Vuitton. You guys seen my mark, the trademark that I got, and the name. People love Marco Bellini, and they love the MB logo. You feel me? And I'm selling it like hotcakes. But the idea is, that's not my vision for right now. That's my vision for what it was like over the last 2-3 years. But I'm saying, in regard to where I see it and going public with it and being more magnanimous and greater than Louis Vuitton. Because if I'm looking at all of my competition, we use only chinchilla and Russian sable, 18 karat gold, white and yellow, and platinum, as you might not see on the Birkin bags and whatever. We talked about that. And the idea that people are paying $50,000 for a motherfucking leather, good leather, but you're not getting no gold, you're not getting no diamonds on the motherfucker. When you fuck with Marco Bellini, believe me, you're going to be paying more than a Birkin bag. And you're going to be getting more out of it. You feel me? Because I have to be better than where they are. But my idea is my idea, and my dreams are my dreams. I cannot laugh and giggle and holler and scream about what somebody else is saying, because I might see it and say, hey, well, that's a good idea. I like to take advantage of it, which is what Apple did, which is what Microsoft did. They went public and offered those opportunities to other people as shareholders to say, hey, well, we got this product, we got this service, we got this invention or product. Now we're going to be selling it. This is where the opportunities of people, normal people, can get in on the ground floor. Just like I was talking about with LVGI in the marijuana industry, and everybody was like, oh, hey, it's not going away a little better. Okay, because you're not seeing what I see. Once Trump says a marijuana is legal in all 50 states, That motherfucker can go from 0.00004 right now to well over $100, if not more. You feel what I'm saying? So the idea is still the same. Think it, speak it into existence, and act on it, because everything can be what it will be if you act on it. So as far as the boards go, Brother Marie, listen, there was a white family in America who took in a family of board, talking about, well, we're going to give them an opportunity to come to America, and adopted them. I guess that's the word I'm looking for, and took care of them. You know what they did? Not a motherfucking thing. They ate up every motherfucker in the house. They didn't want to work. They didn't want to put in any productivity. They didn't want to do shit but lay around and they funky fucking stinking white asses. This is what white folk do. You can see that because they put the black face on DEI, affirmative action, but the ones who are doing the most and are benefiting from the most are white folk. They don't want to fucking work. They got a 500-year start, and they still complain. I'll throw it back at you, man.
All right, thank you, dear brother. You know, Sis Cassie, you're saying that you had Bible, or are you saying you had Bible references that it tells us that we have witchcraft, that we can do witchcraft? Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is the enemy has his children.
Yeah.
He recruits and he uses other people to recruit. Okay. Just like God has his people.
Right.
And they have the authority given by Hasatan to carry out things for him. Okay. Right. For instance, LGBT is literally you having spiritually you're having sexual. Okay, for instance, if you're dealing in the occult, everything you do is going to be sexual. It's going to take it to a level of where it's abnormal sex, homosexuality, pedophilia, molestations. You're dealing in something that's satanic. And if you don't understand the spirit realm of it, this is why God told you in his word that you have one man, one wife, right? But in the spirit realm of evil, pedophilia, homosexuality, molestations is what they stand for. So what I'm saying is he has his children that he sent out. And if you would listen to some of the videos, and I'll send you more, you may not even be interested. And it's okay. Totally. I'll send it. You listen good. And that may help you to understand at a different level. Because I didn't understand this either until I began to, because this has always been a request, because I was dealing with something in my life. And I wanted to understand how to counteract it. I saw it. I felt it. I knew it was there, but I didn't know how to break it. I didn't know how to deal with it. So I'm talking to you about stuff that I deal with, that I have dealt with. I'm telling you how I have combated it. I'm not saying that I go out to kill white folk. That's not what I'm here to do. But I do believe that he has his own children, and that is what he assigns them to do. He assigns them to bring you down, to bring Christian children, to bring prophets down. I do believe in prophets. I do believe in apostles. I believe that everybody has a gift. But I know that when they talk about the spirit of Jezebel, that's a real spirit. It's a spirit. It's not just a creature or a character in the Bible. That's a real spirit that goes after the prophets. That's a real spirit. Okay. And you have to understand that when you're dealing with the enemy, the witchcraft realm, you're dealing with people that's going to do some really bad stuff, as far as causing accidents, as far as causing families to fold, pastors' children to go away, pastors' children that'll be set up in a situation where a witch will have him attracted to a young girl that is into drugs and get him into drugs, or it'll have an attraction on a young woman, and it's always sexual. There's always a sexual connotation that that person will set up for their lives to fail, for their lives to be hooked up in drugs, for their lives to be hooked up in drugs and drinking, and their lives to be hooked up into and sometimes this stuff is set up on purpose for the fall of the church, for the fall, especially if that person has a call in their life. If a pastor has a call and he's really going after some souls and he's really doing what he needs to do, his seed is going to be even more stronger than him. Okay, if he's running that house. So therefore, the enemy has to get in there and stop this seed, right? He's got to stop that seed because he knows the pastor is powerful, but the seed is even more powerful. So of course, he's got to impact this seed here. So of course, now I got to send people his way that's going to try to get him off course, that's going to take him into some sexual sins, that's going to take him into some gambling, and going to take him into some stuff that his father won't be able to preach about because his son is into it. You have to understand the spirit realm and how the enemy works. But if you don't understand this and you're not understanding and hearing the conversations, then you'll never put two and two together.
So again, because you get what you just gave me was all physical, and I understand that 1,000%. But my question on the spiritual, and I believe in spirituality, but when you say that you can go in the spiritual realm and, defeat your enemy.
You don't believe you can do that?
If I can go in the spiritual realm again.
Who's saying you can't?
But listen, and kill.
I'm not talking about killing anybody. What I'm talking about is.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay,
because
but
that's because this is the thing. If the witchcraft that you're talking about,
that makes you a witch. That makes you this witch. That makes you a witch. So if you want to kill somebody, okay, listen. Okay,
hold on, because you got to hear me out.
Okay, go ahead.
Right, because if whatever you're talking about, whatever word you want to use it, is so powerful that it takes people off their right track and have them on the wrong track. This, that, and the other thing. But yet, if the enemy can use that kind of power and use that kind of power to kill people, whatever. But the righteous don't have that same power to kill the enemy.
But you don't understand. You a lot of times you're not using the power you're given. He said you can raise the dead. Who's doing that? You can do it, but who's doing it?
Show me one person.
Oh my God!
That can physically go to a cemetery and raise the dead. Show me one.
Thomas. I'm gonna call you Thomas who? Right now. Thomas.
Thomas who?
I'm gonna call you Thomas. Thomas. You always see something. Why don't you try it for yourself? Why do I have to show you? Why don't you?
If you believe it,
no. Why don't you try it? Why don't you try it? If you don't believe it, why are you not? When you read something, why are you not manifesting it? Why are you not walking in it? Why are you not doing it yourself? If you don't believe it's gonna be done.
I bring the dead to life.
Okay, that's okay. So you believe that,
but they're not physically dead, buried 6 feet under.
Okay, but
they're not that.
Okay, but
nobody on this planet can do that.
But you are doing that. You're just doing. You're thinking it got to be in the grave. You're thinking it got to be in the grave, but you are bringing the dead back to life. That's what you're doing.
I'm bringing the walking dead back to life.
They're dead. Dead is dead. Whether they walk back in the grave, they're still dead.
Okay, so let's this.
Okay, because you're looking at one day, it may not be that deal.
I'm talking. So let's clarify the question, right? Because the biblical that you're coming from is talking about those that are dead.
No, it doesn't. No, it's not. Not really. Not
so
really.
My question to you is: are you saying that we can take somebody that's dead, that's 6 feet under, and go to the cemetery, call their name, and they're going to come up out the grave?
Have you ever gone to?
Are you saying that?
Listen. Have you ever gone?
Are you saying that?
Are you saying? Wait a minute. Have you ever gone to the hospital and somebody said so and so died, and he started breathing 10 minutes later after the prayer chain started? Have you ever heard of that? Yes or no?
Don't answer my question with a question. Just
I'm answering your question. Answer your question. Have you ever heard?
It's a question I'm asking is a yes or no answer.
It's not a yes or no answer.
It is.
No, it's not.
It really is.
Oh, to you. But to me, when I see somebody going to a hospital room and they pray for that child and that child opens his eyes, they just raise the dead. but it wasn't them doing it. So yes, it can be done. I'm not saying that okay, you're talking about going to the grave. Why not going to the hospital rooms and do that? Why not going and speaking to that cancer and the person is healed from cancer? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the way you're talking about it. You're saving people and raising people from the dead even now. You're thinking about in the grave. It's not always in the grave. A person, we are walking around dead right now. You have to look at it a different way.
So
You're not willing to look at it a different way.
See, because this is what we do.
No.
I ask you about one point, and then you want to move the goal line. But
because it's not just about that one point. No, it's not just about. No, it's not.
Listen, my question.
It doesn't matter. I hear your question. I am answering your question, but not the way you want me to answer it.
No, because my question is only dealing with those that are buried 6 feet under.
You cannot do it like that. No, you cannot. Not. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about.
So you're saying that can't happen.
I don't know if it can happen. Anything is possible. But what I am saying that if you go to a hospital bed, that you can bring that person back. That has happened. So does that include that's still somebody dead? You trying to go to the grave. I'm going to the hospital bed. I'm talking about healing cancer. That's what he told us to do. So you're talking about once they get in the grave, okay, why not do it while they're still in the bed? Why they got to be in the grave? You talking about doing something that you going to another area with it. It's all the same.
If it's all the same, if it's all the same, then if they can do it in the hospital, they can do it in the cemetery, because you just said it's all the same.
Guess what? I don't know. If you try it, and let me know. If you have, I
believe that you can go to the cemetery and do anything. I don't believe that.
Okay, I do believe that you can do whatever. But I'm saying about before you get to the grave.
When you gonna go to the cemetery and raise the dead?
I'm not going to get to the cemetery. I'm going to get
them. You said you believe that it can be done
before they get to the cemetery. What about that? Do I have to wait till they get to the cemetery? I'm just saying, you're trying to talk about the cemetery. What about before they get to the cemetery?
Hold on, because you said it doesn't matter. And my point that I'm saying, see, there's a difference from when a person die in the hospital and they've been dead 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 10 seconds.
What's the difference? Dead is dead. What's the difference?
Well, because while you can be, your heart can stop, your brain can still be going, or your brain can be dead and your heart and everything else is still going.
Haven't you heard of people? Okay, let's go there. I understand what you're talking about, death. Okay.
But hold on, because it's important before we go to the next. We gotta settle where we are.
Where we are, it's settled. It's settled. For me, it's settled. I don't know about for you, because you want me to say something else. I'm not gonna say that because I have never tried it, but I don't know, has it ever been done? It's been done. I've read where it has been done, but I wasn't there, so I don't know.
Okay. But you believe it can be done.
Huh?
But you believe it can be done. You believe you can go to the cemetery and you can call out a name and they will lie.
People have done it. I can't, but people have done it.
But
I'm not just saying it can't be done.
My question is,
I am not going to say that it can't be done. I am not going to say
your mic. I can't hear her with the noise your mic is making. So my question is, can you do that?
People have. I have not. No.
My question is, can you do it?
Question. You want me to say what? I don't know what I'll be able to do later. I have no idea. I'd like to do that, but right now I can't. But I know people that have.
All right, so stop, because you said right now you can't. So you can't do that.
I can't. I won't be able to do it later. I don't believe
that. We're talking about right now.
But you can't say
we're talking about right now. We're talking about right now. So you bear witness that right now you can't go to the cemetery and raise the dead. You bear witness. Now, my next question is, do you believe you can do it?
I believe that eventually, yes, I will be able to do it. I don't know if I can do it now because I have not tried. I've not tried. I've not been to the cemetery, but I'm not going to say that I never will be able to, because I believe I've heard it done. I have not, but I've heard it being done.
Can you go to the cemetery tomorrow and do it?
I'm not going to go over there tomorrow to do it. I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to tell you what, But I heard other people have done it. Okay.
Why are you not? If you believe
because
you
I don't have the faith for that. I don't have the faith for that now. But I'm not saying that
Okay, perfect.
But I don't say that I won't have the faith later.
Hold on, because I want to close this door. You can't
close the door because I'm not going to say
what you already answered. You answered. You said this is what your answer was. You can't do it right now. You can't do it right now.
What's to say in the future that I won't be able to? So why would I say that I can't do it? Yes, I can't do it now, but I'm not going to say I won't be able to do it later.
We're talking about the future. We're talking about right now.
We always should be talking about the future.
But we're not. We're talking about right now.
Okay.
Because you can't do it right now.
I can't do it right now. But who's to say
right now? It's impossible. It can't be done.
No, I'm not going to say it's impossible. Nothing's impossible.
It's impossible for you to do it right now.
You can get this conversation up because it's not ever going to be to where I can't do something. I just don't believe that.
It is because you just bore witness you can't do it right now.
But that's not what I'm going to be able to do later.
Right now. We're only talking about right now. We ain't talking about later.
I can't.
Look, later you can grow into that knowledge and be able to.
So why would I put myself? Why would I stop?
Because we're talking about right now.
No, if I'm supposed to do something in the future, why would I speak against that and say I can't do it? Why would I do that? If that is a desire of mine, listen. What if that is a desire of mine? I would never say what I can't do because eventually I might be able to do it. I don't know, but I'm just saying. Sometimes y'all talking about speaking stuff, right? Why would I speak that and say, "Oh, I'll never be able to do that"? I don't know. I hope I will.
I'm not saying that you'll never be able to do it,
but I'm not even
leaving the possibility open. We're leaving the possibility open.
But then you have to word it right then.
And in the future, you may be able to do it. We're leaving that door open.
We only talking about right here, right now.
Right. In the future, you may be able to, but right here now, you can't do it.
Right here now.
Right here now, you can't do it.
Right here now.
Right here now, you can't do it. And you believe at some point you will be able to do it. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yes, I do. Yes.
So,
yes.
What has to happen in your faith to make you to know that in the future you'll be able to go to the cemetery and pull them up? What is it that your faith is lacking now that you can't do it, but later you'll be able to do it?
I've never tried it. And I think, and I'm gonna just say this, I believe that if we speak stuff and we do the research to understand how it can be done, I do believe that we all could be able to do stuff that we have never done. I would never limit myself because I never know what the future is, but who knows, I may get to that point where I do want to see the dead walk. Okay. I'm not saying I would never want to see that, but right now, I don't have a desire to go to the funeral home or to the cemetery and raise somebody. But I do have the desire, if I see somebody now and they're sick, I do have the desire to pray for them. And I do believe that they can be cured. I believe that. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It's all about what Cassie thinks and what Cassie believes. But guess what? I can't convince anybody else what they can do with their life. It's up to you what you believe you can do. Just like Isaiah, it's up to you what you believe you can do. You have what you say. If I walk in there and I understand that and I do the research to find out how it's done, if I meet somebody and they said they've done it, I'm going to find out how did you do it, and maybe I can do it. But I haven't met anybody. I've read about them, but I've not met them who has done it. So if I do meet somebody and they've done it, I'm going to sure ask them, how did you do that? So I'll be able to do it. Because I believe that I need to be connected to somebody possibly for that understanding to be able to do it. That's just how I believe. And it's how I believe.
And there's nothing wrong with that because I believe the exact same thing. But that doesn't say that I can go out to the cemetery and call the dead and the dead going to come out.
It does say that. You may not be able to do it
nobody on this planet can do that.
How do you know that?
Because they're not doing it. That's how.
What have they done it in the past? I've read that they've done it in the past. I've not done it.
I've
read they've done it in the past.
Do it again today. There ain't nothing new under the sun. If they can do it in the past,
guess what? You just said it. You just said it. There's nothing new under the sun. So they've done it. And they're dead today. They're done. They're gone. I don't believe that their lineage can't do it. I'm just saying, I believe anything is possible. I would never sit up there and say what somebody can't do. Hey, God bless you if you can do it. Go ahead and do it. But I'm not going to sit up there and say that it can never be done because you've never seen it. Don't mean it can't be done. Who are we to say that? I
Well,
mean, I just see things different.
There's certain laws.
Laws? Whose laws? Man's
God's
laws?
laws. God's laws.
God's law
What
said
we're
that you
talking
shall.
about
He said you'll be able to do it. He said, greater work shall I be able to do. So what does that mean? That means that if he raised the dead, I should be able to do it too.
Right.
But I have to be where he is, or I have to be without sin, is what he said. Because people said, well, why wasn't Satan able to convince him to do blah, blah, blah? Because he said sin is not in me. So it's a certain way you have to live. I ain't living like that. I'm not God. But I'm not saying that he couldn't use me to do that, because I've seen people I've actually seen people heal the sick. My husband could do that.
Right.
He is that powerful to be able to do that. And I've seen it.
Right. No problem.
I'm just saying.
I don't have a problem with it. I've heard of people being able to do that. I'm not complaining about that at all. I'm not saying that that's not right. That's not the right thing. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying when it comes to God laws, when they are dead and they are buried in the earth 6 feet, dead.
You said there's nothing new under the sun, right?
Nothing new under the sun.
Okay, but did he do that with Lazarus when he dead? How many days?
Lazarus wasn't dead.
He was. Okay, well, what Lazarus you talking about? The Lazarus that I read about was dead.
Jesus said that he wasn't dead. Jesus said he's not dead. He's just asleep.
Okay.
Lazarus.
Okay. So, okay. Well, let's just use your word sleep. Okay. So Lazarus was asleep for 3 days. Sleep. Okay. So you're saying there's nothing new under the sun. So if he can do it, and he told you greater work shall you be able to do, meaning what I did, you can do. Okay, we just don't have the faith to be able to do it, nor do we understand how he did it. But I do believe that if you have the gift, that you should be able to do it.
Did he say that we'll be able to break God's natural laws?
He said that he said that greater work shall you be able to do. If I did it, you can do it. That is his natural law. What is his natural law to you? What does that natural law mean?
The natural law says that when you're dead and you're 6 feet under, you're dead, because God said, I am not the God of the dead.
But what did his word say? His word said,
he said, I'm not the God of the dead. I'm the God of the living.
You said he was
He
asleep.
said, bury the dead with the dead. I'm not the God of the dead. I'm the God of the living.
But didn't somebody, wait a minute. Hold on. Even with that, when he was in the tomb, when he was dead so many days, did he not get up?
Who
you think? Jesus. Yeah, didn't he get up? No,
he didn't die. He never died on the cross.
So let's say he was asleep. Okay, I don't know what word you using, but whatever word you're using, he was buried for so many days, right?
Are you talking about Jesus or Lazarus?
I'm talking both. We could talk about both, because both of them were asleep, right?
No, because they're two different stories. Jesus never died on the cross.
What did he do? What did he do?
He didn't die on the cross.
What did he do?
He was hanged from a tree.
Okay, we understand hanging from the tree. We understand that. But what I'm saying is, he said he didn't die. So what did he do? Well, he stayed up there and did what? What did he do? He was hung from the tree, but what happened?
He passed out.
Okay, so he wasn't dead.
No, he wasn't dead.
That's not what I read. Do I need to pull up the scripture?
I mean, Jesus is the metaphor for the sun. It rises and it dies and it's born every day.
He did not die on the cross. He passed out. There's people that get every Easter down in South America.
Easter ain't got nothing to do with it.
No, it does. Because listen, every Easter down in South America, they hang people on the cross just like Jesus was. They did the same thing to them as Jesus. They kept him up there the same length of time Jesus was up there, and they never died.
So they buried him. They hung him on a tree. They buried him. He was buried
there. Put him in a cave.
Hold on.
A stone in front of the cave.
We're going to talk about that.
Bury him. Then they put a guard outside the cave. If he was dead, why would they put a guard outside the cave?
Because hold on. We're going to talk about that. Hold on. Let me find.
Okay, find it.
While she looking for that, Brother Marie, I had a friend that was a 7-day Adventist. He came through with his wife, and we got into the conversation of life and death and all of that. And I asked him, "Do you believe in that?" And he said, "Yeah." So a guy had recently drowned and was just found like a week later after being in the ocean, all bloated out and everything. And I would tell him, well, you believe that this guy can be brought back to life? He said, yeah. The same as he was before he drowned? He said, yeah. I said, you know what I said. But look, even, even upon the death of my mother, as much as I wanted to bring her back to life, I couldn't. You know what I mean? Not to say, and I feel what our sister Kathy said. I don't know how to do that. You know, it may be a way to do it, but I don't know how. If I knew, I would have brought my mother back to life in perfect health.
The Bible does talk to us about that. He was crucified, died, and was buried. Okay, meaning, what in the world? It's so loud in my house. His death was true, a true death. He was dead and buried. Okay. So my thing is, they put the metaphor is they put the stone, rolled the stone in front of the tree, or rolled the stone in front of his grave because they wanted to make sure that his disciples was not going to steal him and tell people that he rose from the dead. That's why they put the stone in front of the tree. That's what that metaphor, the metaphor. I know people haven't fit with this, but the metaphor. If you don't believe,
it's not
okay,
a metaphor.
y'all.
They actually put the guard in front of there. It wasn't.
Well, I'm just all of this is a metaphor, okay? But I'm just trying to clarify so people won't start saying, "Oh, that's a metaphor." Okay, if you don't believe, whatever, you just hang tight until we get done with this conversation. But it does say that he died, and he was dead. And he was buried. Okay, let me find out how many days he's buried. They said 3 days. Okay, Easter has nothing to do with it. It has absolutely nothing to do with any of it. So they said he was dead for 3 days. Okay, that's what he said. Okay, his death and then he rose. But the reason that they put the guard in front of the tomb was because they didn't want his apostles to come and remove him. And then they said, "Oh, he rose from the dead." So that's why they actually did that.
How many hours in a day?
24 hours in a day, right?
He's always been 24 hours in a day, right?
Okay. I'm
All
just
right.
thinking maybe you coming up with something.
Right. So because you said he'd been dead for 3 days. That's what you said.
That's what they say, but I know it wasn't no Friday to Sunday is not 3 days. But you know, I'm saying they said it was 3 days, it was 2 days. Okay. So he was in the grave Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Hold on. Because now you're saying that it wasn't 3 days, but
I'm just saying what they say.
You're going. Either, see, this is the thing, Sister Cassie. Okay, go ahead. You can't use it to play both sides.
I'm not. No, seriously. No, I'm not trying to do that.
Or you don't. You can't say, "Well, he was dead 3 days," and then when I challenge 3 days, then well, no, it wasn't 3 days.
Well, what I'm saying, okay, but hold on, and I'm gonna say why. I'm gonna tell you why I say that. The reason I say
that he died. Hold on, because your whole premise that he died on the cross is because of what you read in that book.
Because right? I wasn't there, okay? But I'm reading. This is what I read. That's what I read. Just right? Like everybody else gonna read what they read and believe what they believe. Just like you gonna believe what you believe. Isaiah believe what he believed. Cassie gonna believe what she believed. I'm going by what they say in the book. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. That is my question all the time. What is truth? Because you got some people say this, some people say this, some people say this. Whatever the truth is, I just want the truth. That's all I want. So whether it was 2 days or whether it was 3 days, it doesn't matter. He was still dead from what they say, right?
He wasn't dead. And as I told you, and I'm about to show you, because they do this every year. They do the reenactment every year.
Go by what they say. Easter has nothing to do with it. I don't even go by what Easter is talking about.
The people are not dead.
Okay.
You see, he got the nails in his hands.
That's not even how he died. He was hung on a tree.
He was crucified.
He was hung on a tree.
Okay, so let me stop. So you're saying
he was hung on a tree. He said, "Curses are the ones that hangeth on the tree."
Listen to my question. Mm-hmm. Are you saying that the Romans did not crucify him, nail him to the cross? You're saying it didn't happen.
No, I am saying that they hung him. The real biblical story is that they hung him on a tree. He said, "Curses is the one that hung on the tree." That's what I'm just saying. I'm going by what they say. No, I don't believe that he died like that. I believe that they hung him, which is how they hang most Black people, right? Why do they hang most black people like that?
Let's stop.
Why do they hang black folks?
Well, Sister Cassie, we got to stop because now you're changing it.
I'm not changing nothing. You just asked me. I don't believe he died like that. I believe that he was hung on a tree.
Hold on. Now, because now we're changing.
No, we're not changing nothing.
Okay. So you're saying that as this guy is crucified.
I'm saying that he was hung on a tree. Biblically, the Roman Catholic Church changed this. Literally, when they in the 1816 Bible, it says that he was hung on a tree. Okay, but the Roman Catholic Church came in and changed that in like some time ago. What 18 something else? They changed it to say that he was crucified like that. That's not how he died.
All right. So okay, then let me amend the whole argument. Okay, because if you're saying that he was never crucified like this, then right. The point that I'm making is irrelevant because he didn't die like that.
He didn't die like that. No, that's something irrelevant. Catholic Church has changed a lot.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Because we're still following what your thing is that you said that he was hung from a tree. Now hold on. Let me pull up a picture of a black man being hung.
And that's mostly how he died. And he said, "Cursed is the one that hangeth on a tree." Why is it that why do you think that they hang black folk? Why is it that you think they hang black people? Because there's a simulation of how the Savior died. And that we're connected. We're connected to him.
Okay, hold on. Because I
don't even know why this is an argument for us. I don't even understand this whole conversation.
So let's look. Now,
okay, let's look.
This brother right here,
that's what they said.
He's hanging from a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Neck is broke. He's dead as a doorknob. We all agree, right?
Well, he's dead, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So just staying on this line right here, you're saying that Jesus was done just like this.
Yes.
Right? It was done just like this.
Just like that.
And 2 days later, he got up and walked.
That's what the word say. I can only go by what the word said.
No,
they said
this is what you believe.
That's what they said. Yes, that's what they say.
I
wasn't there. No, I cannot. You know what? I was not there. Yeah, I'm going to say that yes, because the 1816 Bible said that he was hung on a tree. Really? He was hung on a tree. I don't know if his neck was broke, but I am telling you that they said that he rose from the dead. So you're saying God is not God.
My question is, this is what you believe.
That's what I believe. Yes.
He was hung like this. He was dead for 2 days and got up and walked.
That's what they say. Yes.
But that's what you believe.
That's what I believe. Is that what you believe? That's what you not believe? Am I the only one to believe that?
I don't believe that our God would be hanging, that he would let a devil kill him and hang him from a damn tree. I don't believe our God would do that.
Okay, that's what you're believing. You're entitled to believe that. You are entitled to believe that. Right. I am going by what is written in the 1816 Bible. I believe in the Bible.
Let me ask you this one more question. I'm going to shut up.
I'm not a Muslim, so you believe totally different.
Let me ask you one more question. One more question. I'm going to be quiet on it because we ain't going to solve it. But how can you believe Jesus was hung on the cross and you don't even believe Jesus exists?
Who said I didn't believe Jesus don't exist?
You said many times.
I didn't say Jesus don't exist.
You said Jesus who? Jesus this, and you named different people. You said Jesus didn't even exist.
No. I didn't ever say that. Show me where I said that. I believe in the Father. I believe in Jesus. Who you talking about? You talking about me? I believe in Jesus.
I thought you said Jesus
believe in Yeshua.
Jesus, what'd you say? Caesar Borgia?
Okay, Caesar Borgia is who the white folk who look him up. Caesar Borgia. Okay, that's who the white folk believe. That's Jesus. Okay, Jesus. You have to understand the letter J just came into existence 400 years. But before then, he was called Yahshua. That's who I believe in. I don't call him Jesus. I call him Yahshua. I'm not saying that it's not Jesus, but I don't believe, because there's two different types of Jesus. If you go more into the witchcraft, you have to understand. But they said the ship was Jesus, right? But the letter J just came into existence. So what was he called before then? Look it up. Look it up. Don't say
nothing. We're not in disagreement about his name. We
okay,
both believe
so
that
you're
the
saying
name is the same.
I would be crazy to say, oh, I don't believe in Jesus. I believe in Yahshua. That's what I believe in.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
Yes, I'm like, hold on now. I'm not. No. We ain't gonna do that.
Go ahead and cook. Go ahead and cook.
We ain't gonna do that now. We ain't gonna say cats don't bleed.
Look. I want to say something.
I have a lot of Christian understanding because I grew up in the church. I preached it for years. Okay, so you have to understand. Now we're doing new research, so we're understanding a lot of stuff that was written by the Roman Catholic Church, who created all religions. Okay, you have to understand. You got the written and you got all those religions coming from the Roman Catholic Church. So a lot of stuff that they believe, I don't believe. I learned it, I brought up on it, but I don't believe it. He was hung on a cross. No, I don't believe that he was crucified. I believe that he was hung on a tree, and that's why you see his people, his chosen, being killed the same way he was. So I'm just saying that you may not believe that because we believe in two different religions. Okay, we believe in two different, but for me, it's not about religion; it's about relationship. So all of this, I don't know what everybody believes different. I don't know what to believe. I am going by some of what I was taught. I'm going by some of the truth that I'm learning now. But my thing is, I'm just grateful to whatever it is he did. Thank you for doing it. But I believe that we're supposed to be doing the same thing that he did, because he told us greater work shall we be able to do. Why we're not doing it is because of sin.
Okay. So let me ask you this. You believe that Jesus was hung from the tree, and you believe that he arose 2 days later, not 3 days, but 2 days later, based on what you wrote in, based on what you read in the Bible.
Based on my beliefs, when I was a Christian, I believe the same thing every other Christian does. I believe that yes, he died for our sins. I believe all of that. Who's to say it's not true? I can't say it's not true. I would never say it's not true. I am saying what I believe now, that I believe in the truth, and it's all about history and culture, and I think that's what's important right now, because we'll never understand. You're going to believe one thing, you don't even know if that's true. You're going by what somebody else said, just like I'm going by what somebody else said. I don't know if any of it is true. I want to know, but I don't know. So guess what? I don't spend a lot of time on it because I can never prove any of it. You can't prove any of it because we weren't there, but we're going by what somebody else said. So my thing is, okay, well, you might can. I understand. You think you have the proof just like I think I have the proof.
Right.
So everybody thinks we got the proof, but do we really?
Yes, because in your Bible, it talks about how the theology of what they came to believe was created. And that was created at the Nicene Council, 325 AD, where they said, this is what we're going to teach. This is what we're going to believe. Right? Right? They the ones that came up with the theology of Jesus Christ. Because what Jesus taught, or what Esau taught, was not what you have today. Is that correct?
What you taught, what they taught back in the day, because of the Roman Catholics, changed a lot of what happened originally. I really feel that a lot of what we thought we understood, we don't really understand, because how do we know? Because I wasn't there. I want to understand it, and that is my prayer that I do get it and understand it, but I want the truth. So I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh, this didn't happen, because I don't know. We have so much going on right now. I don't want to concentrate on that right there. I want to concentrate on right here and right now, and helping our people understand that they are the chosen. That's what I concentrate on, because it's so much that the Roman Catholic Church and these white folk done changed, that you got black folk believing all kind of stuff. They don't even understand. They talk now. You're talking about spirituality. Now you're talking about the Muslims. Now you're talking about the Christian. Now you got all this stuff. It's so confusing that I choose not to really go into it because of the simple fact there's so much confusion going on right now.
Well,
So I don't know what really happened. They say 2 days. They say, oh, from Friday to Sunday. Friday to Sunday is not 3 days. It's Saturday and Sunday. That's 2 days. So where'd you get the third day? Are you counting Fridays? Are you counting just Saturday and Sunday? So it's so much out there that I don't even like talking about this because of simple fact that everybody believes something different. Some people don't believe in Jesus. Some people believe in Jesus. Some people believe this. Okay. Right now, we don't really understand truth. I don't even know the truth, really. And I don't think anybody does because nobody was there. But I am going to believe, and I want to believe that as far as the 2 days and as far as the Savior and as far as him dying on the cross, I know his name wasn't Jesus. I do believe his name was Yeshua HaMashiach. I do believe that. These white folks got us believing in Caesar Borgia, and that was Caesar Borgia, and Caesar Borgia was the Pope's son who was having an affair with Leo da Vinci, right? You have to understand all of this has a meaning, and all of this stuff that's connected to sexual perversion is connected to the church. You got the pinnacle, which means a penis. You got so much other stuff that's connected to pedophilia in the church. Why do you think that you got gay pastors and pastors marrying each other? You got all this homosexual in the church is not somewhere that's positive anymore. I don't even know if it used to be, but the Roman Catholic Church has you believing that Christianity is the way to go. I don't believe that that's the way to go right now. I don't believe it. So,
and this is the thing, because what I'm saying, we can easily prove it. We ain't gonna do it tonight because we already been on here.
Well, we can prove a lot of. We can say we prove a lot of stuff, but can we really?
But look, if the Bible talks about the Nicene Creed, if it says that this is where they're getting their whole theology from, right? It's telling you this is where this theology came from. This is where they decided that they're going to believe that Jesus, the Son, the Father, the Holy Ghost, their immaculate conception, right? That they made this thing up.
So,
right?
okay, all of it was made up. Even the Muslims made it up.
Because you've already admitted that you're coming from a position where you don't know.
Nobody knows.
Right.
So we can believe what we believe by what somebody
said. You know, because what I'm telling you, you can fact check me. And
how do you know that? How do you know? Who are you getting your information from?
You can fact check me and see that I am telling the truth, right? Because the Nicene Creed lays out what they believe. That's why this whole Christianity thing, Jesus never had nothing to do with Christianity. He didn't bring Christianity. They brought it. Right. And when they brought it, they brought their systems of belief that you got to believe in. And one of those beliefs is that we killed the nigga, he died, and 3 days later, he got back up and started walking around, right? That's on their tree of belief. It's on there. Now, the thing that we got to ask ourselves, because Jesus said, or Esau said, that I don't come to I don't come to break the laws, but I come to fulfill them. I come to do them, right? So the law states, I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Look. That's watching. Look, this is the first time y'all saw me and Sister Cassie go back and forth.
But that's my brother. We're gonna always go back and forth.
I love Sister Cassie to life. And look here. I will go
my brother, y'all. We can go there, boo.
Physically if somebody tried to hurt my sister. You understand? But our discourse, our conversation,
it's okay.
Is a conversation that's in love.
It's in love. I'm gonna tell you what. I don't want anybody to come on here and think that because you think the way you think that I feel anything. I don't, because I don't believe any of it. I'm just sorry. I have got to the point where it's so many, these crackers and lied about everything. They got black folk going this way, this way, this way. I refuse to do that because I grew up in Christianity. So, of course, a lot of beliefs is still there. But I try to get away from that. When I research something, and I go hard in my research, I'm a researcher because I need truth. I try to walk in truth as much as possible. And I know the more truth I find out, the more I know these crackers done lied. And they done made up so much stuff. And they done lied about everything. And they got backwards, upside down, and downward, upside. They got so much going on. I have just refused. I'm just done with all of it. I'm looking for truth right now. And I know that they tamper with that Bible. So a lot of times you don't even know what to believe with that. I understand that. But I believe that all of the religion is just crap. I'm just sorry. I just have an issue with all of it. Yes, I'll say something because I grew up with it. That, you know, some things I really believe until I believe it, until I understand and see it as being false. I walk in it. But I do believe what I say. When I say something, I do believe that I have that authority. Okay. Now, things have worked great for me the way I thought and the way I think. And everybody can't say that. Some people think different ways, and you're entitled to it. But I cannot be convinced that, you know, I'm not a Muslim. So I know what the Quran says. I know what Malcolm says. I know what this one says. That's what you believe. And God, go for it. Believe whatever you want. But when it comes to me, I didn't grow up in that. So I'll be like, okay, that's what you believe it. But I feel nothing. I don't have any feelings against anybody. If you believe different, God bless you. You know, some people get mad and I ain't got time to get mad about stupid stuff. I don't. We're too busy building. That's not something that's going to allow me to come between, that's going to become in between our relationship. That's just not it. I'm going to love my brother regardless. And somebody come for you, I'm coming for them. Trust and believe that. I'm a real soldier. That's my brother right there. I don't care what we talk about. I don't care. We like sister and brother. We can argue, but try to mess with him if you want to. I'm coming. That's what I need you to know. And vice versa. That's right. And he got that. Just like
okay, can I say something?
That religion come between
that
brother
before
right
I forget, because y'all keep going and going and going. The ever-ready rabbit. God damn! What the hell?
I just want to make
how do we get digressed from this bullshit?
I just want y'all to understand that that's my brother right there. So whatever the conversation.
Look, I love the both of y'all, but let me say this, because it was kind of it changed the whole vibe of the when I was working at the post office, and we were talking about Jesus, and the guy was talking about, I'm a Jesus guy and this, that, and the other, and I looked at him and I asked him, and so your Jesus got a birthday? Your guy got a birthday? That fucked him up. Then I said, wait, so Jesus got a birthday? Then he got to have a birthday and a death day, because if he was born on earth, he had to die, right? Number two, I asked him, well, you got a weak ass God if the creation that he created killed him. What kind of God is that? Nobody can kill my God. So who is this God you talking about? I mean, very weak. So, I can understand what you're talking about, but the idea is still the same, that all of these are not religion, these are philosophies, and that God exists in you, not outside of you. It's what our ancestors have always taught. If we go back, and where is Sister Maud when we need her? Because she understands. Well, I'm going to assume she understands, because all of what her name implies that this is what how I was raised, right? So when you're looking at the Kabbalah, that's the magic kind of thing. What they say, it's not really magic. There's no secret to it. It's just how it is. But the idea is that Jacob ladder is your spine that goes up to your brain, where the seat of God is, the pineal gland. And when that is excited to the point where there's so much positivity that you have no time to listen to bullshit. And what I'm talking about is what the science of self was all about to our ancestors. That long before Egypt, long before anything else, there was Ma'at, which come from Egypt. But I'm just saying, all of these things were the observance of the universe that we can see, that we can touch, that we can smell, that we can hear. And the funny thing about it that the color I forget the name of it, but I had sent it to you guys. There's a group of black folk in a Kalahari Desert or something like that. I don't know what it is, but anyway, they had a white guy there, and they were looking at him and talking to him. They said, and they asked him, "Do you hear that?" And he looked at him like, "What are you talking about? Don't you hear the stars talking?" And he looked at him again and said, well, "No, I don't understand." See, that the difference between us and white folk is that we're part of the blacker, deeper, more profound universe that we can see and hear and feel. And sometimes you can't think. You gotta feel, and that's the big difference between white folk and black folk. We have the capacity to feel beyond our five senses. And that's what separates us from them. They'll never get it because they don't have that spiritual connection. They don't have that soulful connection. And I'm here to tell you, man, I love being black. There's nothing better than that because everybody want to be black, but nobody don't want to be black. But you know what I always say? You know what I want to say. What I always say? Go ahead.
We already know.
Huh?
Fuck all white folks.
Yeah, there you go. I'll leave it at that, and I'll pass it back to you.
All right, family. We done went 3 hours and 39 minutes.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
It is, ain't it?
Nah, it's good because Amir said, "Let's go another hour." I said, "Yeah, I bet."
You're gonna be sleep talking another hour. Go sit down.
More than an hour, yeah. Damn the 2 hours. But it's all good. It's all out of love. Now we ain't falling out. You know, it's just like Dominican. When you see Dominican arguing, look like they're arguing, but they're not. We just talk loud.
No.
We just talk loud.
It's all in love, though. It's about education. We're here to learn, right?
Right.
That's what it's about.
Right.
Definitely.
But I said, let me say this: the summer, no, we had the winter solstice. Now we got the summer solstice, and I believe the sun goes down in 3 days, something like that. I forget what the hell it was, but that's nothing but the summer solstice, whatever, the spring solstice or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But that's where that comes from. The day that God or Jesus took to rise from the dead, 3 days. So, but hey, I ain't me. I'm just saying.
3 days. Saturday and Sunday is not 3 days. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, yeah, no, I'm just saying. You know, I'm just saying that the summer solstice or the winter solstice. You know, yeah. But I love y'all, man.
Love you too.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go ahead and move into closing comments. Sister
Wait, we didn't discuss the Mexican cartel.
Yes, we did.
We did.
You were asleep on that one.
You were asleep.
You were yawning over there on that one.
No, I wasn't. I was not.
I don't know how we got on this conversation.
Yeah, we just took a whole right turn.
Sorry, y'all. We went totally left on this one, y'all.
Well, let me say this about the Mexican cartel. Fuck them too, because they ain't gonna be able to do shit. Because we talked about this, brother Marie, before the show started. I don't believe they got the capacity to defeat all of these agencies that we got, and all of the brothers that's out there, and all of the Americans that's out there that got guns. It might pop, it might not, but to me, they ain't gonna do shit. Not like.
They're going to make. I do believe that they're going to cause a little havoc. Because America. But you have to understand, when you are a cursed nation, and when your time is up, the smallest group can kick your ass, and you ain't got nothing to do about it. I'm just saying. The smallest group. Remember, you had a small battle AI, right, or AE or whatever, and they whooped. Okay, so you have to understand, when you're dealing with a cursed nation, anything is possible. You can probably whoop America. The small black folk that we got can whoop America because of something like they're a cursed nation. And all black folk got to do is rise up and act like you want to fight, and you'll win. Don't ever forget that. You're dealing with a cursed nation, so it's not that nation where it's top dog like it used to be. That's the past. And that will never come back to, that'll never come back.
All right. Close it out, bro.
Right.
I'm tired now. I want to go to bed.
It's 8:12. How you go to bed at 8 o'clock?
Well, it's 9:12 here, dear.
Oh, 9 o'clock. Oh my God.
I want to go and lay down and put my head on my wife's lap and go to sleep.
All right. We want to thank everybody that came out and stayed a long time, and even stayed with us while we were off topic and everything.
We love you guys.
Definitely. But this was a very important topic that we did share tonight, and when you go back and listen to what you heard, the Afrikaners are coming, and we got to be prepared. The Mexican Cartels said they're going to unleash so much death and murder inside of America, you won't believe it. So America is a big place filled with nothing but hatred. And the people of God are all mixed up in there. And so they think that they're going to destroy us. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We're going to fight and we're going to win. You got to have your mind properly prepared for what you're going to see. Because some part of it says that what you'll see, a pregnant mother will walk around, will give birth to her baby at the shock and awe of what she's going to see. So you have to be prepared for what is coming. Get you mentally, get you spiritually, and get ready to do what need to be done. Get your candy bars and make sure you have bullets, and make sure you're ready to use it. Don't get caught like that black woman that we showed last week, who the cracker had the gun to her head and she got her gun and she's saying, I didn't even pull my gun. Never get caught doing something like that. That's stupidity. These people kill for enjoyment. They kill for enjoyment and they hit you for real. For real. You can bet your bottom dollar on their hate. But as we always say, you kill the nigga.
You kill a nigga, you and I'll kill a nigga in me. And our God will reign supreme. We are black birds. Today, tomorrow, and forever. And remember, family, for the next 24/7, 365, stay black.
Stay black.
Love y'all.
Peace, family.
Peace.
You better get the message and get it straight. You're going to need some bridge work. It's simple as that. Because we're living in judgment. We're living in implementation.